Nithyananda, welcome to the Nithyananda Yoga Abhyasa. We'll begin today's session with the Sadguru Vandanam, invoking the Divine Presence and establishing ourselves in this deep space of oneness with Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashiva, at this auspicious Brahma Muhurta. Please sit straight. Keep your hands in the Namaskara Mudra. We will begin with the Sadguru Vandana. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadirakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. We'll now chant the Shiva Mula Mantra. Internally, please chant the Shiva Mula Mantra 11 times as we repeat for you loudly. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. 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 We'll now begin the Tattvachamanam. Please take the Panchapatra Mudrani and please take an Uddharani of water. And with your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra, please take 3 sips of water as we chant the following 3 mantras. Om Atma Tattvam Shodhyami Svadha. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhyami Svadha. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhyami Svadha. Rinse your right hand and then with the base of your right hand thumb, wipe your lips from right to left 2 times. Om Amridaya Namaha. Rinse your right hand again. Then with the tips of your index, middle and ring fingers, touch above your upper lip, below your lower lip. Rinse your hand once more. With the index, middle finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. The ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, left eye, right ear and left ear. Rinse your hand one more time. With the little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel, right chest, left chest. And then with all the tips of your fingers, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the center of your chest. Rinse your hand one last time. Now, clasp your right hand in your left hand and keep both your hands on your right thigh. We'll now take the Sankalpa, the resolution, conscious resolution for today's Abhyasa of Nithyananda Yoga. Internalize and visualize all the auspicious blessings and manifestations from today's practice, the divine grace and blessings of our beloved Bhagavan. Now chant the Sankalpa mantra. Mamopatta samasta duritakshaya dvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Shubhe Shobhane Muhurte Adya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Pararthe Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvata Manvantare Ashtavimshaditame Nitya Yuge Pradame Pade Jambudvipe भारतवर्षे परदखण्डे मेरोः दक्षिणे पार्श्वे शखाब्दे अस्मिन् वर्तमाने व्यवहारिके प्रभवादीनां षष्ट्याः संवत्सराणां मध्ये श्वावसु नाम संवत्सरे दक्षिणायने लक्ष्मी वेंकटेश्वर ऋतौ तुलामासे शुक्लपक्षे चतुर्ध्यां शुभतिथौ शुक्र स्थिरवासरयुक्तायां ज्येष्ठा नक्षत्र शोभनयोग वृष्टिकर्ण एवं गुणविशेषण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ श्री कैलासोन्नत द्वादशांत श्यामला पीठारूढ़ श्री मीनाक्षी सुंदरेश्वरा भिन्न स्वरूप परशिवपुत्र रत्नकुमार गुरुमन्य तुल्यावतार श्री पार्वती स्तन्यपान लब्ध दिव्य ज्ञान विश्रुत निगमागम सारभूत द्राविड वेद प्रभक्तृ श्रीमत् परम शिव करुणा समधिगत मुक्तामय चतुरश्रयान गीयमान छत्र चामर श्री चिन्मकाहलादि समस्त बिरडावल्यलंकृत ज्ञान विज्ञान चक्रवर्ती सर्वजन संघ सद्यो निर्वाण दीक्षा व्याप वर्ग वर्ष विश्रान जीमूत परमतकल भगेसरी शैव सिद्धांत स्थापनाचार्य श्री राजाधिराज पांड्य महाराज गुरु शपन शाख्यादि महांधकार निवारण ज्ञान भानु वीक्षणा नरहार ध्वदोच्छेदन पूर्वक श्रीमद वृषभध्वज स्थापक शैव समय कर्तृ सर्वज्ञ पीठारूढ़ श्री जगद्गुरु श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक स्वामी वागीश सुंदर माणिक्य वाचक स्वामिनाम अवतार भूत श्री ज्ञान संबंध स्वामी पुनरुद्धृत श्यामला पीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ तृणवत्युत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान अरुणगिरि योगीश्वर परंपरागत अरुणाचल सर्वज्ञ पीठ गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तर द्विशततम गुरु महासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य रजित कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ कर्तृ साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वत मनु इक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्याद्य नवच्छिन्न सर्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनुधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ पीठ सुरांगी साम्राज्य मूर्धाभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणी पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परम शिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ नवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटल पीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटल पीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्गपुर स्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोविंश गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिपीठ सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास पुनरुद्धारक श्री कैलास परमाचार्य श्रीमद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठा श्रीमद जगद्गुरु श्री लश्री भगवत श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संबंध देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थम तेषां पादारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुकृपाकटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं क्षेमस्थैर्यवीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फलपुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं समस्त मंगलावाप्यर्थं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थं पूर्ण आरोग्य युक्त दृढ़ात्रिक यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थम परम शिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थम नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये। ओम अपौपस्पृश्य rinse your right hand with the mudrini of water and keep your Panchapatra mudrini safely aside.
Yes. Nithyananda, everybody.
Nithyananda, everyone. Welcome to another Brahma Muhurta of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. If you are joining us today for the first time, just to give some context, we've been exploring the entire 508 Tritiya Vinyasa Krama sequence of authentic yoga asanas revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And today we're beginning at the very start. However, we are going to complete from asanas 500 to 508. We've done 500 nearly now thus far. And we're exploring each asana one by one, going through the various components, going through the various tools, techniques, and methodologies to allow ourselves to perform some of these extremely advanced asanas that demand whether it's quite a bit of flexibility in various different parts or strength of the body. And so it's been a beautiful way to explore and expand our bodies. Today, however, as mentioned, we are going to begin from asana number one itself, and then we will transition to the final 8 asanas of the sequence. So we're just going to split up between the PVK, which is the Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the first level sequence of 108 postures, and we'll go through not all 108, but we'll go through a handful of the beginning postures, and then again we'll transition to those final 8 asanas of the TVK at the end. And so if you're new here, welcome. If you're joining us on YouTube, Nithyananda, and we do encourage you all to join us live on our Zoom through Kailasa's Punya portal. This way we can give you some instant feedback via our two-way Zoom session, and our acharyas can guide you a little bit further. And so today's focus is we're going to begin by what Swamiji's been talking about, creating our own energy. So when we wake up in the morning, we're not necessarily feeling a lot of energy within us. And so a very simple way of doing that is through the breath. And so as we begin today's yoga practice, I want you to kind of focus on the fact that this is breath day, this is breathing day, this is pranayama day, to awaken and develop and generate, as Swamiji's saying, that energy within us, okay? And so I don't know about you, but when I wake up in the morning, I'm not necessarily ready to run out the door and necessarily feeling all that great. However, when I focus on my breath, when I'm focusing on my pranayamas and the kumbhakas in particular, holding the breath, personally, I notice an immense development of energy within me. And so as we begin today's session, let's focus on the breath as a key component of one of the 12 components of each asana. And so let's go through this experientially today. So before we jump into our warm-up, we're going to warm up our body through the breath. And the very first part of the sequence in the Pratama Vinyasa Krama is the Samana Kumbhaka. I'm sure a lot of us have heard this, but what the Pramana says, Samana Kumbhaka, it's visualizing heat, flames raising up along the Kundalini, along the spine from that digestive center. And so the heat itself is generated from our stomach, that Agni, the fire region. And you're visualizing that heat raising up along the spine. And so in actuality, you should be able to even develop some perspiration and even sweat within those first 6 asanas of this sequence before even standing up. And so that's really going to be our goal today, is can you sweat before we even stand up fully upright, okay? And so let's jump into this experientially. So starting in Sukhasana, let's all sit in a comfortable cross-legged position. Whatever that means for you, you can have your feet a little bit extended. Just make sure that you're sitting with your spine nice and tall and elongated. Okay, and what that means sometimes is our chest caves down, so let's make sure our chest is open up. You're pressing it forward and allowing the shoulder blades not to be tense, but to relax and drop the shoulders down. Okay, our hands are in Bindu Mudra, so our thumbs and index fingers are touching. Other 3 fingers extended, resting on the tops of your knees. And with every asana within the sequence, Mula Bandha is engaged. So sometimes you can hear or you can feel that, am I retaining the energy or not? If you don't have Mula Bandha engaged, the Apana Vayu, the downward flowing Vayu, is flowing outside of you. And so you want to retain energy within you. And the best way to do that is sealing this perennial floor, the Mula Bandha, and then in the Kumbhaka, holding the breath, allowing that prana to circulate throughout the system. Okay? So Hands are in Bindu Mudra. Mula Bandha is engaged at the very beginning, and again, you're holding it pretty much throughout the entire sequence. While we're here, you're going to take a deep inhalation through your nose. Okay, so at your own pace, I'm going to be talking throughout this, but I want you to continue focusing on nice, long, deep inhalations through the nose and completely filling up your lungs. Okay, so nice deep inhalations to the point where you can't expand your chest anymore, and your chest looks nice and big and filled with oxygen, air, prana. Okay, and so as you deeply inhale and the lungs get filled up, after you're inhaling, at the very tip of that, you're tucking your chin down, Jalandharabandha. The chin comes all the way down to the chest, and then you suck your stomach in and upwards. Okay? And as I continue speaking, just go through this sequence on your own of inhaling, holding the breath, and then exhale. Okay? While you're inhaling, the visualization itself is flames and heat raising up from that center, from the solar plex region, where the Agni, the fire, is generated. And you're pulling it up, the Pramana says, along the Kundalini, along your spine, towards the Sahasrara chakra. So visualize heat is already generating within you, and you're just pulling that from deep within all the way up towards your crown center. Okay? And as you hold your breath, the idea is to hold your breath long, comfortably, not to the point where like you're going to pass out, but you want to hold your breath nice and long. Okay? So it should get to a point where it's slightly uncomfortable, and then you can exhale and breathe again. Okay? That is Samana Kumbhaka. And if we perform these pranayamas correctly, along with perfect posture, what you'll find is that it's not actually boring, as sometimes you'll hear some feedback. Oh, the sequence of the Sakala Vinyasa Krama, I've done it so many times and I'm getting so used to it. If you focus on the components with utter integrity and being authentic each and every morning, each and every time you approach each asana, what you'll find is that it is generating energy within you if you just perform it with that authenticity. And so as you're deeply inhaling, visualizing that heat, holding the breath after the body's completely filled, tucking the chin down, and then sucking the stomach in and up. A common question I'll get asked is, when do you hold the breath? Is it after the inhalation, after the exhalation? The truth is, it's after both. Sometimes it's after an inhalation, sometimes it's after an exhalation. If you want to really intensify the experience, after the exhalation, you can lock the chin down, suck the stomach in and up. With that prana and that oxygen completely sucked out of the body, what it means is the body really has to capitalize on the energy that's already within it. Okay, and so when you're already depleted in the amount of oxygen within your system, with the amount of prana that's in your system, the body starts to jump into a high gear and take advantage of all the different resources that are within it. Okay, so in Sukhasana, hands are in Bindu Mudra, index and thumb are touching. Let's all come back to the same pattern here. Starting with an exhalation, let's take a deep inhalation through the nose. Completely fill up the chest. Once it's completely filled, seal the perineal floor, Mula Bandha. Tuck the chin down all the way towards the chest, and then suck the stomach in and up. Hold your breath here as long as you can. Let's see if we can do this for a 10-second count all together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And if you can hold longer, then do so. Continue holding your breath if you're able to do so. Suck your stomach up. I'm still not seeing everybody really pull that stomach inwards and upwards. Get the chin tucked towards the chest. Really make the prana flow throughout you. Okay? Intensify the sequence. Begins with you. Good. So at the end of the exhalation, you should get to a point where it's like you can't wait to breathe again. Okay? So it's almost like I heard it here in person. Like you're almost gasping for air. That's the experience that you want to get to. Okay. So in Sukhasana, the visualization is of Paramashiva in your inner space. And you're exhaling, inhaling, visualizing that heat raising up along the spine. Okay? The jump at the beginning of the sequence. Soham. And you're gazing outwards, straight ahead. And Sukhasana.
तत्सुखासनमित्युक्तम् अशक्तस्तत्समाचरेत् आसनं विजितं येन जितं तेन जगत्त्रयम्.
Good. Okay, so from here, from what I've seen thus far from everybody on Zoom, still not quite there. So when we're talking about generating energy within us, and it's 4 a.m. in the morning, you have to really be conscious with your breathing, and you have to be really conscious with your bandhas. So if your chin is not tucked down, if your stomach is not being pulled in and up, then what that means is you're not just bringing that intensity in that dimension of the asana. Okay, so let's try it and explore this again, but this time through Parvatasana. And Parvatasana, the mountain pose, you could be in Padmasana, you could be in Ardha Padmasana, or you could be in Sukhasana as the way I'm sitting currently. Whatever works best for you. It's the second asana of the entire sequence, so if you can't jump into Padmasana, that's totally understandable. Okay, we're just waking up, you might be feeling stiff that day. Whatever your body is telling you, go with it. If you're able to put one leg up onto the opposite thigh, great. If you're able to put both feet up onto the opposite thighs, great. Whatever works best for you, again, is what matters. So today, if I feel like Sukhasana is best for me, then that's what I'm going to do. But again, today is breath day. We're focusing on our breathing. We're focusing on generating heat within our body and generating energy, as Swamiji is saying. And how we can do that is through these pranayamas and through the kumbhakas. So just like in Sukhasana, as you deeply inhale, fill up your chest as deeply as you can. So you're inhaling through the nose, nice, long, nice and deep, to a point where your chest pops out. Okay. From there, hold the breath as long as you can to a point where like you can't wait to exhale and inhale again. You start to really need the oxygen. You start to really need new air flowing through the body, new prana to flow through the body. So nice, long, deep inhalations. And if you're feeling tired right now, if you're feeling like you're nodding off, that just tells me that you're not performing the pranayama properly. So focusing again, back to the breath. Nice, long, deep inhalations, generating energy within you, stealing the perineal floor and Mula Bandha. Tuck the chin down towards the chest. This time, hands are above the head, palms are together. Extend the arms straight up towards the ceiling. And with the chin tucked down, you're pulling the stomach inwards and upwards. Okay? Continue reaching towards the ceiling. So the elbows tend to bend down and we tend to relax and get a little bit comfortable. You should not feel comfort here. You should feel intensity. You should feel what the Pramana says is the Kundalini piercing all the 6 chakras. That's what's happening here is our Kundalini is being pulled up through the base of the spine all the way up towards the crown center, piercing all of the 6 chakras within the body. So as you hold that visualization, continue extending the arms up straight. Feel yourself stable as a mountain in Parvatasana. Okay? Holding here the breath, and then when you need to inhale and exhale, feel free to do so. And again, then re-engage the pranayama of visualizing heat generating from the center of your being, pulling that heat up towards the Sahasrara chakra, sealing all the bandhas and allowing that energy to generate within us. So again, exhale all together and inhale deeply through the nose. Fill up the lungs nice and tall. Hold the breath Seal the perineal floor, tuck the chin to the chest, suck the stomach inwards and upwards, extend the arms straighter. If you're feeling them bend a tiny bit, then see if you can get your arms a little bit higher. Hold the breath as long as you can. Visualize yourself as a mountain in Parvatasana, Soham, Japa, rotating in the throat center. Continue holding as best you can.
अधवक्षे महादेव पर्वतासनमङ्गलं यत्कृत्वा स्थिररूपी स्यात् षट्चक्रादिविलोपनम्.
Good. Release the hands down.
So if you can hear my breath right now, I'm kind of panting. And if you haven't noticed the pattern yet, what happens is our Tantra will chant the pramana of each asana at the end of the instructions. And so one thing that I personally do is I try and hold that kumbhaka, I hold my breath as long as, or I try and hold it until the Tantra is done chanting. And so what that does for me is it gives me almost like a little goal to reach, and it keeps me accountable to being authentic and integrated to the kumbhaka. Just with that visual, or with that envision within me, it pushes me, and I can tell you right now, like I'm already starting to perspirate just because of holding my breath. Okay, and we're still only on asana 2 of, it depends on how many we're doing that day, whether it's the 508, 308, or 108. But with the visualization of the heat raising up along the spine, with the deep inhalations and holding the breath as long as you can, with authenticity, what you'll find is that the body can generate energy, generate heat on its own in a very simple way, as we're doing today. Okay, and so as we move on to the next asana, what I actually recommend is if you, and you don't need to jump up and run around today if you don't have a spot available, but it's always helpful to use a wall if you are performing these asanas on your own. So we are blessed enough to be living in Kailasa, and we have helpful partners on either side of us to perform various different asanas to help us go deeper into them. However, a lot of us outside of Kailasa, if you're living at home and you're practicing yoga on your own, you may not have a partner. So one of the best partners that you can have is the wall. Okay, what that provides for you is a space to, one, be safe and take care of your body, to make sure you're not harming yourself, but also you can use a wall to your advantage to get into some postures deeper. Okay. Again, as we're going through this sequence this morning, if you're feeling like energy is not being generated within you and you're feeling tired, continuously bring yourself back to your breath. Means what? It means nice, long, deep inhalations through the nose, filling your lungs up completely, holding the breath, and visualizing that heat generating and raising from that navel center along the spine. Okay? So today is your day to generate energy within you. Okay? So moving into asana number 3 in Halipavasana, if you have a wall available, I would recommend backing yourself up towards the wall so your back is up against it or your sitting bones is just touching it. And if you don't have a wall, not a big deal. You can still use the ground to your advantage. And so I'm seeing some people transition to the wall already. That's great. If you do transition to the wall, just make sure that the camera can kind of stay on you so we can get some eyes on you to help you out through this. In Halipavasana, you're going to extend your feet out in front of you. Bring the soles of the feet together. Okay? And the goal here is to bring our forehead down towards the ground, ideally inside your feet. So the forehead is going to touch the ground, just be in front of the heels. Our hands are going to be brought behind us, and you're going to clasp the left hand by the right. Okay? And we're doing the same thing in engaging all 3 bandhas. So as you're seeing demonstrated around me here right now, hands are clasped behind you and you lean forward and down. Now, if you're somebody like me, you have really tight hips and you're not necessarily able to get that forehead anywhere near the ground maybe, That's where you can use the wall to your advantage, and you can press your hands up against the wall behind you. And what you'll find is that you can more easily bring the chest further and further down. Okay. Again, though, today the goal isn't necessarily to perfect every asana physically. I want you to focus on the breathing pattern itself. Okay. Whether you're wanting to burn calories or, again, generate energy within you, the easiest and simplest way to do that is through the breath. Okay. So as we go through this, you're taking a deep inhalation as before through the nose, nice and long, filling up the chest, filling the perineal floor, leaning forward and down, bringing the forehead towards the heels, wrapping the arms behind the back, chin is to the chest, and you're trying to suck the stomach in and up, even in this deep forward bend position. Hold your breath as long as you can comfortably. Means what? Means to the point where you absolutely have to inhale, not to the point where I want to inhale and you're breathing casually. It should still be comfortable, but you should still be exploring and challenging yourself. So wait until the heat really starts to build within you, and then you have to inhale again. Okay? So you should have that squeal almost after you break the kumbhaka, after you break holding the breath. Okay? If you want to, you can come back up after a few breaths, and then you can go back down into the posture again. Okay, while you're here, try and keep your eyes open, gaze towards the tip of the nose. And we're visualizing Swamiji in our inner space with the japa soham rotating in the throat center. So let's do this one more time together. Feet are placed in front of you, soles of the feet together, heels are touching, hands are clasped behind you, or you can use them to press behind you up against the wall to allow you to go deeper. If you don't have a wall, you could just press your hands down into the ground even to allow your stomach to come a little bit further. Try and keep the chest open and spine elongated so you're tilting forward from the hips rather than trying to just bring the forehead down and arching your spine, your thoracic spine right away. Lead with the chest as you come forward and down. Okay, and let's all take one deep inhalation, one cycle of breathing together here. Okay, so deep exhalation, empty out your lungs, and inhale through the nose. Hold the breath, feel the perineal floor, tuck the chin to the chest, lean forward and down as far as you can, suck the stomach in and up, visualize Swamiji in your inner space, and hold here in Halipavasana.
पूर्व विधिया ओम में जानो उभय भगतले संपुट थानो विष्णुपछेदो खरल्यावो दशन कर सोवाम गहावो.
Good. Inhale and rise yourself up. Nicely done. How many of us actually held our breath throughout that whole time before the Tantra Dark, so the entire time the Tantra Dark was chanting? Yeah? Okay, nicely done. Nicely done. Again, try and keep that as a bit of a goal today in each asana as we focus on our breathing patterns. Okay. Now, the next asana we move into is Nagi Pavasana, a very similar setup with our heels towards us. Okay. Now, as we move through this sequence, what you'll find is this is just a natural hip opener in itself, but this is also a simple way to warm ourselves up and to stretch out our hips for those advanced postures that we're doing also. The best way to explore your flexibility here is by just reaching further and further as we move into this posture. And so very similar setup to Halipavasana, only this time you rise up and you're going to extend your hands forward out beyond you. Okay. And so while you're here, before you even bring your forehead down towards your heels, just see how far you can reach your hands with your chest upright. Okay. So see how far you can bring your chest to your heels. And you can walk your fingertips further and further in front of you as you do so. Okay, and allow your hands to grip the ground a little bit to the point where, if you lift up your hands, naturally you release a little bit. So try and tiptoe your fingertips, reach them as far as you can just by bringing the chest towards the heels. And again, tiptoe the fingers a little bit further and further away. And then once you kind of reach as far as you can, then you can tilt your forehead down and bring the crown of the head, the forehead down towards the ground as well. And continuously try and reach forward here as also. And then you can rise back up. Okay, so we're going to go through this a few times at your own pace, however you feel is best for you in opening up your hips right now. But ultimately, try and hold it for 10, 20, all the way up to 30, potentially to 60 seconds, whatever is best for you right now. But again, today is about the pranayama, the breathing pattern, generating energy within us. And the way that we're doing that is through the kumbhaka, through samana kumbhaka in particular, during these first opening asanas of the entire sequence. So again, as described, samana kumbhaka is you're visualizing heat raising up along the kundalini, along the spine. So if you've ever seen any of the Tibetan monks that are sitting in the Himalayan mountains with no clothes on, only wrapped up in, I think they're using water-soaked cloth that just becomes completely freezing, and they sit there for hours on end. How are they able to do that? What are they doing? They're visualizing heat being generated from within them. Okay? So as we sit here in these comfortable rooms with nice heating, we should be able to generate that same level of heat within us just through our breathing. So deep, long inhalation through the nose, visualizing heat from that center. Hold your breath, seal the perineal floor, and reach further and further beyond you as best you can. Okay? Once you feel you've reached as far as you can forward, tuck your chin towards your chest and start to pull your stomach inwards and upwards. Hold your breath here and visualize yourself as a snake. Soham is the japa rotating in the throat center. Okay? All right, let's exhale and all rise up together. And we're going to do this one more time, all together, with all the components incorporated. Okay? So, nice deep inhalation. Let's start with a deep exhalation. Empty out your lungs completely. Hold your breath. Deep inhalation through your nose. Hold your breath. Seal the perineal floor. Start to lean forward and down. Extend your arms out as far as you can. Tuck your chin to your chest. Bring the forehead towards the ground in front of the heels. See if you can reach your arms a little bit further out. Still holding the breath as long as you can. Suck the stomach in and up intensely. Visualize yourself as a snake here and Soham rotating in the throat center. Nagi Palasana. Hold your breath.
पूर्व विधि याहू में आगा नीचे होई कलहू नीचो लगाए हाथ आगे ने धरती लगावे पसारी दो हाथ की अंजुली करे.
Nicely done. Inhaling as you rise up. How many of us held our breath there that whole time? Yeah? Okay, nicely done. Did you notice heat start to generate in you a little bit more so than maybe you have been practicing these asanas in the past? Yeah? Okay, great. Nicely done. Nicely done. So again, that's all happening just through our simple breathing patterns, right? The simple visualization of the heat raising up from our navel center. And moving forward into the fifth asana, Kailasa, it's the same type of setup with our breathing pattern. So from a position with our feet in front of us, the ideal way to get into this posture is you interlace your index and middle finger around the big toes, and then you bend your knees and bring them together in front of you. Okay? Slowly bring the heels towards your perineum, and then rock yourself gently so that your hips, or you're balancing on your hips and your heels come off the ground slightly. Okay? If you're not able to do any of this part of the sequence, that's completely fine. We're just giving the instruction first and foremost so you know how to perform. From here, you're extending your legs straight up, keeping the knees locked as best you can. And then you pull one foot to the opposite hip, and then the other comes onto the opposite hip. You lean forward and down onto your elbows in Kailasa. Okay. Now, if you can't perform Padmasana, if you can't balance yourself and you can't get your legs straight, oh, that's fine. We can push that aside, and you can literally sit in Sukhasana and lean forward and down onto your elbows and just cross your hands and hold onto your big toes in this way. Okay. The most important part here isn't actually to, go into the posture in that elegant way, but to, again, for today's focus, holding our breath and the breathing visualization. Okay. And what you'll find is you're able to generate the heat just the same. The only difference is you're going to have the energy and the prana flow throughout your body in slightly different regions in your lower body and throughout. So the ideal posture is feet on top of opposite thighs to get the maximum benefit, but legs crossed, holding onto your elbows is the same in many ways. Okay, so from this seated position, you're going to inhale and exhale comfortably to the pace that is best suitable for you. However, challenge yourself to hold your breath with deep inhalations through the nose, feeling the perineal floor and tucking your chin down towards the chest. So that means chin is in contact with your chest. And suck your stomach in and up and try and hold here as long as you can. It should be held, the breath, to the point where you have to inhale and exhale a few times before you actually inhale again. So it's not like you inhale, hold your breath, and then exhale, and then inhale, hold your breath, and then exhale. You should have to exhale and catch your breath a few times, still breathing through the nose ideally, but you should be at a point where it's difficult to breathe comfortably immediately after you exhale. Okay? So again, as we're generating our own energy today, we are doing so through the pranayama, through the visualization of heat raising up from the Agni, from the navel center along the spine. If you have been doing this properly with authenticity, you should be feeling perspiration and you should be even sweating slightly. If you're somebody that's falling asleep or you're not feeling like energy is being developed, it simply means you're not doing it authentically. Okay, so look in, see if you're being integrated to the posture and its components. Okay, so let's all start with an exhalation together here. Once all that air is out of you, take a deep inhalation through your nose. Fill up your lungs, visualizing heat raising up along the spine, generated from the navel center. Then hold the breath once the lungs are completely filled. Seal the perineal floor, tuck your chin towards your chest, and suck your stomach inwards and upwards as the upper body is being rested on the elbows. Hold your breath as long as you can. And in Kailasa, you're visualizing yourself as a bird as you have Soham, the japa, rotating in the throat center. Let's all exhale. And we'll go through this sequence one time together, authentically. Good, nicely done. So let's all come back to a complete seated posture, and we're going to go through the sequence together one more time. So from the previous position of Nagi Pavasana, let's all bring our heels together in front of us, and you're interlace your index and middle fingers around the big toes. Bring the knees together, and gently bring the heels close towards the perineum. You should get to a point where you start to lift up your heels and balance on your sitting bones. And if you're able to balance there, try and extend your legs out nice and straight, slowly, to a point where if you can lock your legs, that's ideal. If you're able to hold that there for a few seconds, nicely done. Then try and cross one foot over onto the opposite hip, and then other as you lean forward and down onto your elbow. Okay? As mentioned before, if you're in Sukhasana here, completely fine. But let's all be on our elbows and interlace your fingers around the big toes. Okay? Again, generating energy within us. Take a deep inhalation through your nose. Visualize heat raising up from the navel center. Feel that Agni flowing within you, piercing all the chakras, all the way up. Seal the perineal floor once your chest is completely filled. Tuck your chin down to your chest, and then suck the stomach inwards and up, and hold your breath here as long as you can. Let's see if we can wait until the Tantradharks completed their chanting. Visualize yourself as a bird here in Kailasa, and see Soham japa rotating in the throat center.
यथासनं वक्ष्ये येन सिद्धो भवेन्नरः अकस्मात् वायुसञ्चारं कोकिलाख्यासनेन च.
Deep inhalation through the nose. Nicely done if you held your breath that entire time. And rise yourself up to a fully seated position. So nicely done if you're able to hold your breath there. Again, in every other posture, if you're not able to hold your breath completely, nothing wrong with that. Exhale, catch your breath, and then take another deep inhalation through your nose and try and re-engage all those three bandhas again. Okay, we're in asana 5 of the opening sequence. And again, you should be feeling a little bit of perspiration in the sequence, just specifically from these kumbhakas, just from this visualization of Samana Kumbhaka. Okay, Then, of course, you integrate that with the various other postures. It makes it even that much more challenging. Okay, next position is Nithyananda. So as you come forward and down from that Padmasana position, you just release one foot. So if you're in Sukhasana or if you're in Padmasana, you release one foot so it's down and you adjust so the opposite foot is on the, or so the other foot is on top of the opposite knee. Okay, holding on to the opposite elbows. Let's all start with an exhalation out of our nose. Empty out your lungs completely and hold your breath for a moment. Okay, then deep inhalation through the nose. Visualizing heat along the spine, raising up as you rotate your arms to the side and then hold it at the top for a moment. Let's all hold at the very top here and see if you can extend your elbows up as high as you can above your head. Notice how naturally the stomach starts to become elongated, and intensify it even more so here by trying to tuck the chin down and pull that stomach inwards and up even more so. Holding your breath in this kumbhaka, samana kumbhaka, and then as you exhale, rotate your hands back in a circular motion towards that starting position. So I want to just encourage you to follow your breathing pattern with the rotation of your arms and challenge yourself to hold your breath at the top of this position. So my lungs are exhaling here. Once I'm completely exhaled, start to inhale through the nose, rotate the arms up, and then hold your breath at that apex, tuck your chin down, and suck the stomach in and out. And continue to reach the forearms towards the ceiling. Challenge yourself here. Be integrated to the posture by having authenticity to your peak possibility, by exploring your ultimate possibility, exploring your ultimate length here. Holding your breath, exploring your lungs capacity, your ability to perform kumbhaka authentically. And just by this position itself, you should feel that heat raising within you. Okay, on that exhalation, rotate the hands down again in that circular motion towards the beginning. Okay, so follow that breathing pattern at your own pace with a deep inhalation. Tuck the chin down, suck the stomach in and up, and again, encourage you to hold here as you elongate your forearms towards the ceiling. The spine naturally starts to raise up. You tuck your chin to the chest and you pull the stomach in and up. And then exhale, continue that rotation coming down towards the ground. Okay? All together again, exhaling one time out of the mouth or out of the nose, whatever's best for you. Try and empty out your lungs completely. Hold your breath for a moment. Deep inhalation through the nose. Visualizing heat raising up along the spine from the navel center as you rotate your arms in a circular motion towards the ceiling. Hold it there. Tuck the chin down towards the chest. Mula bandha is engaged. Pull the stomach inwards and up. In Nithyananda, you're visualizing Swamiji in your inner space as you gaze towards the tip of the nose. Soham Japa rotating in the throat center. Keep holding your breath if you can. And then exhaling down in that circular motion. Nicely done. So one last time. Generating energy within us simply from our breathing pattern. We're going to hold the kumbhaka as long as you can. See if you can hold it until the Tantradharaka is done chanting. As we begin with a deep inhalation or deep exhalation, empty out all that oxygen and air out of your mouth, out of your nose. And let's begin. Inhaling. Visualize that heat. Hold at the top. Seal the perineal floor. Chin to the chest. Suck the stomach in and up. Hold the breath. Visualize Swamiji. Connect to him. Gaze at the tip of the nose. And hold. Oh, nicely done. Our Tato Dark wasn't on the same page as us, so if you held your breath that whole time, nicely done. Okay. We got to do it one more time. So if you felt a little bit of you needed to breathe, almost like you're coming out of the water from a long time. You've been beneath the surface of the water and you're trying to get to the top. That's the level that you should almost be begging for oxygen, begging for new air to come into your system. If you are doing that, again, I'm perspirating, I'm sweating just from holding my breath in that way. Simple way to generate heat, and naturally, that heat is also uh, a reflection of the energy that's being generated within us. So let's again do this one more time. Begin with an exhalation out of the nose and mouth, whatever's best for you. Hold your breath momentarily. Deep inhalation through the nose. Visualize heat raising up along the spine. Forearms towards the ceiling. Elongate your spine. Elongate that reach as best you can. Chin to the chest. Suck the stomach in and up. Hold your breath. Visualize Swamiji as you gaze to the tip of the nose. Soham rotating in the throat center.
घोड़ा बांबा फाड़की आसमा हिली सोय दश शरण गोवार लौत परिघुल्प समोय वाम पाद को माही लो बहुरु घुल्प जानो तापरि घोड़ा दशकी आमसी बारली थान.
Nicely done.
Good. Okay. Again, for me, I after that exhalation, I'm panting almost. That's the level that you should be needing to breathe after that inhalation and exhalation. Is everybody kind of understanding that via Zoom? Is that making sense to you all? Are you noticing a little bit of a difference between how we're approaching the breathing pattern today versus how you've been performing it in the past? Yeah? Okay. Nicely done. Way to bring it. Okay, so from here, we're going to move into our next asana. Tatudar, can you just show the next slide for us too? So as we're here, you're rotating to our first, we're not fully standing up, but it is technically an inversion. Anytime the heart is above the crown of the head, we're moving into an inversion. But this is very much a dynamic movement and very much a challenging posture. So today, if you have ever tried to perform Gajasana and it's not necessarily something you're able to do, I encourage you to use something that is going to support you in this. And so if you have a couch nearby or a really sturdy chair, either one of those would be great. If you have a bench, something that should be able to hold your body weight if you're leaning down on top of it. And so I'm not going to be demonstrating with a chair or anything. However, just visualize or actually understand what we mean by this. So from the seated posture, all you're going to do is you're bringing your feet into Sukhasana position. So a regular seated position. You come up onto your knees and you place your hands flat on the ground. Okay, you uncross your feet so your toes are tucked and you're in a 4-point stand position. So your hands are directly beneath your shoulders. Means my hands aren't reaching out. My wrists are beneath my elbows beneath my shoulders is what I'm trying to portray there. With the toes tucked, you bring the heels down towards the ground as you lift your hips towards the ceiling. Ideally, the heels come all the way down onto the ground and you push the ground away by driving the hands in and out. Okay? If you're not able to hold this, this is where the chair or the couch or the bench comes in, where you can place your hands on that raised object, which is going to make it a little bit easier for you. Okay? So this in itself is a challenging posture to hold. So at any point when you feel you need to, you're going to come down onto your knees and onto your tops of your feet and then resting onto your hands on top of your thighs. Okay? So the first part of the posture is just this dynamic hold at the top. And you're trying to reach the heels and pull the heels down towards the ground. You're going to feel a nice stretch along the calves there as you do so. And you're pushing the ground away
which makes it an intense posture for the shoulders as well. To intensify it more, the actual posture is you're coming down and scooping the head towards the ground, getting the nose to almost hover just above as you rotate and come back to the top position in Gajasana, the elephant posture. Okay, so there's a few different levels to doing this. If you're not able to do this full version where you're coming down from hands on the ground, then the next layer is you try and bring your forehead to the ground in a smaller circle motion. If you're not able to do that, then do an even smaller circle version from your top position. Okay? So the depth or the challenge of the posture comes with the depth of the circle that you're going in, meaning how big is the circle that you're moving in. Okay? And again, if you're not able to do this with your hands on the ground, then use your chair, your bench, or any sturdy object that you have. A couch is most of the time best just because it's so heavy and it's not going to move when we're shifting our body weight on top of it. But the challenge in itself is up to you, okay? So again, when you need to take a rest, do so. Come down onto your hands and knees. And then bring your sitting bones onto your top heels. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through this a few times. This is going to be our workout today. So we're going to make sure that we're sweating. If we're not doing the breathing properly, we're going to sweat through getting the body to work. All right, so get yourselves ready to mentally prepare that we're going to go through this 3 times. And I want you to challenge yourself to go through that circular motion, that flow of Gajasana at whatever level is best for you. Okay, and again, there's various different regressions from the full posture. So again, just taking a moment to watch the full posture as you're coming down, you're scooping your nose all the way to the ground. The next progression is you're bringing your forehead down with a smaller circle. And then the final progression is just a really small circle from that top position. But what you're trying to do is break the locking of the elbows. So when you're in the position at the top, your elbows are extended completely straight and you're pressing the ground away. What we're trying to do is break the elbows, means bend the elbows. So now the shoulder muscles need to get engaged. So here, it's more my joint stability that's keeping me up, and it's not muscle. But as soon as you break, means bend the elbows, you start to engage your shoulders, and you need to, your body's starting to require muscle to push you up and down. So that's what you're wanting to start to develop, is building a little bit of muscle, and that might start with just a nice, small, subtle circle, okay? And again, the whole time you're trying to keep those heels down on the ground. They naturally come up as you scoop down, nothing wrong. But when you get up to that top position, see if you can come back to that same starting position with the heels down and you're pushing the ground away. Okay, so let's go for another 10 seconds here. Circling as best you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and resting down on top of your knees. Nicely done. Okay, if you want to give your arms a little bit of a shake, let the blood rush out of them. You should be feeling pretty good here. If you're feeling like you've got some bad pain, means that you're just overdoing it. So just back off a little bit, and then again, use an object, a chair, couch, table, something that's sturdy and not going to move, but something that's raised. So as your hands are raised up, it becomes a little bit easier and not as much stress on your body. But again, you can also reduce the challenge by placing or hands are placed in the same position, but reducing the size of the circle as you rotate. Okay, so we're going to go through this again. This time, visualize yourself as an elephant. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he reveals the power of visualization by using a hasti as the example, an elephant. And he says that by doing samyama, performing samyama, visualization, contemplating on the strength of a being, such as an elephant, you embody and you acquire that same strength. Okay? So while you're scooping yourself down and up, visualize yourself with that strength of an elephant. Okay? Feel the burning in your shoulders. Allow it to be there. Continue to hold and continue to move through the posture, knowing that you have that immense strength and that immense power of an elephant. That is the power of the samyama, the power of the visualization of each, whether it's an animal, a god or goddess, insect. All of these living conscious beings have unique traits and abilities in their own right. And so with an elephant here, and really embrace that power, that strength, that sturdiness as you're moving and scooping yourself down and up. Okay? So let's go through this one more time. Again, challenge yourself at whatever level, whatever pace is best for you, whatever circle size is best for you. And if you need to use a table, chair, couch, anything that's suitable for you, feel free to do so. Okay? While we're here, it's Samana Kumbhaka. We're still visualizing heat raising up through our spine. And ideally, you're sucking that stomach in and up also. Okay? So I'll speak a little bit more on that as we go through this. Everybody can come up onto the tips of your toes. Knees are on the ground as well. Start with your hands directly beneath your shoulders with a nice flat spine. Press yourself up so your heels come down onto the ground and your arms start to elongate. Okay, you can adjust your feet slightly. You can pedal the feet if you need to get your heels as close towards the ground as you can as you continue to press the ground away. From here, you can start to do your circles, whether that's small, whether that's large, whatever's best for you. Remember that visualization. You're an elephant here. And as you're inhaling, visualize that heat coming in and out. And at the top, you can suck that stomach in and up, hold for a moment, and then break it. And inhale and exhale again. Okay? A lot of moving components, whether it's physically or mentally here in this dynamic posture. So it's dynamic in many different ways. And then simultaneously, our body's screaming at us to stop because the stress and demand that the shoulders are requiring as well. Okay, so continue to challenge yourself to perform the posture as best you can. Let's see if we can go for another 10 seconds here. Coming up to the top, pressing those heels down. Remember to continue to bring yourself back to that visualization. You're an elephant. Feel powerful. Feel strong. 3, 2. Let's see if you can get one last one in. 1. Nicely done. And come down onto your knees. Untuck the toes. Rest yourself on your back heels. And again, you can shake out your shoulders a little bit. Move your arms back and forth. Let yourself catch your breath. How are we feeling over there? How's everybody doing? On Zoom, yeah, feeling it? Nicely done. Good. So as you're catching your breath, really try and do so by breathing through the nose. Nice long, deep inhalations. And exhale. Trying to control the breath, control the mind through this nice long, deep inhalations, nice long exhalations. Okay? Nicely done. How do we feel? Do we want to do one more set or do we want to move on? Actually, do we want to do one more? Yeah? Okay. I love it. You should be at a point where it's like, where's the mirror? Right? Like, you want to look at yourself because you know the blood is pumping through the shoulders. You feel strong. You feel powerful. Right? In this space, when you feel powerful, when you feel strong, you're moving more and more towards your ultimate self, naturally. Right? And that's what we're all here for. We're here to move and manifest our ultimate self. And so let's do that again, one more time through this asana. This time, as we move forward, really, again, visualize yourself as that elephant. Embody that strength, embody that power. Connecting to Swamiji if you need to, when it gets really tough. But try and drive as best you can, as low as you can. Meet yourself with wherever you're at, but try and expand yourself, okay? We'll go through the posture with intensity and integrity one last time. But by now, our shoulders should be ready for our final set. Let's come on to our tips of our toes. Again, hands starting beneath the shoulders, elbows locked. Press the body up, heels come towards the ground. Press the hands away. You can adjust your feet if you need to. And begin scooping yourself down and up, no matter what that means for you, whether it's nice and big or nice and small. Okay? Heels come back down onto the ground as you press yourself all the way up. Follow that breathing pattern, Samana Kumbhaka. Visualizing heat within you. Nice long deep inhalations through the nose. When you can, sucking that stomach in and up at the top and resting for a moment. Scooping yourself back down. Remember, Gajasana. We are visualizing ourselves as an elephant. Feel strong, feel powerful as you continue moving forward. And challenge yourself. Again, if you need to, if you've been starting with big, deep circles, but now you can't do that anymore, then start to reduce the size of those circles, going a little smaller and a little smaller. Okay, nice and big. Keep holding. Soham rotating in the throat center. And we'll go until our Tantra is done chanting.
जम्बाजाग्रे भूमौ कृत्वा लम्बी भूयामस्तकाग्रे निधाय मुद्दम् अमुन्नमय्य नाभिलक्ष्यं भूमौ नासिकामानीय हस्तदलपर्यन्तं नयेत् इत्थं पुनः पुनः कुर्यात् गजासनं भवति.
Nicely done. Come down onto your knees. Relax the toes beneath you, sitting on the backs of the heels. Lifting your spine up nice and tall. Deep inhalations through your nose. Try and catch your breath. Shake out your shoulders as you need to. Nicely done. How's everybody feeling right now? Feeling good? Yeah? Kirta Rupa's not feeling good. Everybody else is. All right. Okay. So from here, we're recovering. Taking nice deep inhalations through the nose. Nice long exhalations out of the mouth. Try and calm your heart rate here. Okay, you should be having a much faster beat than these first 6 postures. And you're going to catch your breath by, again, bringing yourself back to the inhalations and exhalations, controlling that cadence, making it nice and smooth, nice and slow, whatever works best for you. Okay? So the next posture is very similar in nature. However, there's no scooping motion, so we're not really engaging the muscles in the shoulders as much. We are going to be focusing on building that strength within the joints, holding in that same inverted position. Only in Rikshasana, we're just pedaling our feet back up and down. So this visualization is you're visualizing yourself as a bear. Okay, but again, it's the same setup. You can remain relaxed on your knees, or if you're sitting down, you don't need to go into the posture just yet. Let your shoulders kind of recover a little bit more. I'll just perform a quick demonstration. If you're new to the sequence, same setup. Heels are down on the ground, and you're rotating, pedaling your feet. And again, because the elbows are locked straight, you're not engaging the muscles in the shoulder in the same way that we were doing this. So you should have the ability to hold a little bit longer, actually, than in Gajasana. Okay? Rikshasana, though, you're just alternating the heels down as you pedal in that movement. Okay? So when you're all ready, let's all come on to the tips of our toes, hands beneath the shoulders, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Drive the hands down and away from the body, which you should start to feel a stretch along the hamstrings and along the backs of the calves. Okay, to intensify that stretch even, you can lean more into one foot as the opposite heel comes off the ground. Then rotating, pressing the other foot down onto the ground.
and allowing the opposite heel off. So as you rotate, you should really feel that stretch in the leg that has the heel on the ground. The tendency is to break a little bit with the elbows. Try and remember to press the ground away from the head. What this is building strength for is, if you're somebody that wants to perform a handstand, driving the ground away is really building that stability and strength needed to hold that handstand posture as well. Okay, while we're here, visualize yourself as a bear. The breathing pattern is still the same in Samana Kumbhaka. And you're trying to suck your stomach in and up at the tip of your breathing pattern. Okay? Breathing at whatever cadence works best for you. Nicely done. Okay, so let's all come down onto our knees.
I had my first sweat drop here, I just noticed. So if you're nowhere near sweating, just means that you need to find that depth within you, that intensity within you. Only you can control how challenging a posture is. And if you're performing with integrity, what you'll find is that that heat really starts to generate just from incorporating 2 of the 12 components that Swamiji's revealed. Okay? Catching your breath here, they're breathing through the nose, exhaling calmly through the mouth. Allow your heartbeat to start to settle down. Today's definitely shoulders day. And once our breath starts to calm down, we're going to go through this one last time in Rikshasana. Again, if you're not quite able to hold yourself up by pressing the hands down onto the ground, use a sturdy object. Use a couch, use a chair, use a table, anything that's well grounded and isn't going to be moved by your upper body being placed on it. But definitely do something. If you cannot put your hands on the ground and hold yourself up in that position, that's fine. But it doesn't mean, okay, I don't need to do anything then. It needs, if anything, you need to do this more, but at a regressed rate, meaning you have yourself on a raised object, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Meet yourself with where you're at, but make sure you're meeting yourself, you're challenging yourself, you're looking deep within and you're exploring and discovering your ultimate self. Okay? And so as we go into this one last time, see if you can explore your ultimate self by waiting for that first thought of, I want to come down, I want to come out of this. Know that that thought is going to come, that you want to sit down, or you want to relax. Meet that thought and push it aside and tell yourself, no, I'm manifesting my ultimate right now. Your ultimate is on the other side of that first thought. And then on the other side of that second thought and third thought. And you're continuously waiting for those thoughts of limitation to arise and be pushed aside by your Paramashivatva. Okay? So I'm done talking. Let's lean forward onto our hands. Wrists are directly beneath the elbows, elbows beneath the hip or the shoulders, toes are tucked. Lift yourself up into a tall position. Heels come down onto the ground. Pressing the hands away. Begin rotating by pushing one heel down into the ground and then alternating. The opposite heel comes up. Okay, you're feeling a nice stretch in the back of the leg, the hamstring, the calf. And while you feel that stretch, you're feeling the intensity in the shoulders, though. You're feeling that heat start to raise, that burning sensation start to arise, that need or the desire to come down into comfort and relax. Again, though, wait for that thought, wait for that desire to come out of the posture, meet it, and then brush it aside. Manifest Paramashiva within you right now, within this moment, by waiting for that limiting self
to show its face. Remind yourself that you also have those qualities of a bear, that ferociousness, that an utter sense of power that you only see in nature today. See a bear running as fast as it can, mouth open wide, roaring towards its prey. That type of ferociousness, that type of power is within you right now. Direct it towards that burning sensation in your shoulders, the desire to come down, to release into comfort. Destroy that right here, right now. Soham Japa rotating in the throat center. This is Rikshasana. Don't blame me with how long we do this. We're all waiting for the tantra.
Ekam padamakuncha gajasanam kurya rikshasana bhavati.
Nicely done. He's toying with us. He's toying with us. He was waiting.
Good job. If you went through that the whole time, nicely done. If you're feeling that in your shoulders, definitely performed it correctly. Give yourself a little bit of a shake. By now, you may have felt that in your wrists as well. So make sure that you're pressing your hands opposite, down, and up. You can interlace your fingers, rotate your wrists as well. How are we doing over there in Kailasa, Canada? Yeah? Is that a bicep flex that I see in the center of that screen? I saw them from here. That's how big they are. Nicely done, team. Good job over there. Is that Ramesha? Yeah? Nicely done. I can't quite see that name. Abhilash, is that you? Nice job. Keep it up, team. Okay, everybody that is with us on YouTube, nicely done as well. Again, whether you're watching this live or recorded, we are here in the moment during Brahma Muhurta, the best time to perform these authentic yoga postures. And we're going to be moving to a full standing posture. Finally, we're going to relax our shoulders. Okay, so from the posture of Rikshasana, you're just stepping your feet forwards and rising up fully into a standing position. Okay, so you're coming up onto the tips of your toes and you're elongating your spine, raising the crown of the head up towards the ceiling as best you can. Okay, the challenge here is not just in balancing on all of your feet, but you're actually trying to raise all the other toes off of the ground except for the big toes. So you're bringing the most of your balance onto the ball of your big toe. Okay, sorry to show my dirty feet, but you're trying to balance yourself entirely just on the big toes. The weight doesn't go on to the big toes solely, taking advantage of that bone that's right beneath it, but you're trying to lift up the tips of the toes all next to it. Actually, yeah, Paramesha, if you could zoom in on Tattva, he does it really nicely. So this is engaging a lot of stability muscles that are not worked on the daily, but these stability muscles are the ones that fade quickest as we age. And so we want to make sure that we're developing these, and in Vaishyasana, be able to do that so beautifully just by trying to consciously lift up the baby toes all the way in towards the big toe. Okay. While you're here, you're bringing your hands towards the chest. And Hridaya Mudra, index middle ring finger, come to the heart center. Okay. Elbows flare out to the side. And you're gazing straight ahead within you, or you can go slightly down at an angle
You're looking for a drishti point. This is the first asana in the sequence where you really need to have a point of focus outside of you that helps you balance. Okay. So hold here as best you can, as long as you can comfortably. And then when you need to, you can bring yourself down and pedal your feet, shake your feet out a little bit. But again, continue to try and challenge yourself to go through these postures. While you're here, the drishti point is anything that you can catch your eye on that is small enough to help you keep focused. And so a lot of the time for myself, I'll use a particle of dirt that's on the ground even. It could be a pen. It could be Swamiji's face in front of you. It could be anything that is large enough or small enough that's not distracting you to pull your awareness further and further out. But with a drishti point, what the pramanas say is that it's not just like this point of focus that we stare at, it's the understanding that that object out there is Brahman, and I too am Brahman. And so that Brahman and this Brahman, we are one. And so like being in the ocean of, let's say you're submerged in the ocean, you don't need to worry about balance in the ocean, right? You're part of the ocean. Similarly, you don't need to worry about balance here right now because you're a part of Paramashiva. You are in oneness with Paramashiva at all times. And so any shaking, any instability is not having that proper understanding of Advaita, of oneness. That is drishti. And because of that oneness, because of that space and that cognition and that utter focus on that one object, that's what brings balance within you. So with that drishti, index, middle, ring finger at the heart center, spine nice and tall, you're rising up as best you can onto your toes. Seal your perineal floor. Deeply inhale, Samana Kumbhaka. Visualize heat coming in through the body. Hold the breath and suck your stomach in and up. Connect to Swamiji here. This is Vaisyasana. And you can come down. Nicely done. Okay? We'll go through this one last time. Just shake out the heels as you need to. And we'll bring in all components. So again, index, middle, ring finger to the heart center. Rise up onto the big toes. Find your drishti point. Bring Swamiji into your inner space. Seal the perineal floor. Deeply inhale through the nose. Samana Kumbhaka. Visualize heat coming in through the, or from the Agni center, raising up along the spine. Hold the breath. Suck the stomach in and up. Vaisyasana.
केशेन पादयुगलं दत्वादिष्टेत धूमुकः अथवा ईश्यावक्ष्ये यत्कृत्वा सत्यवान् भवेत्.
Nicely done. Very simple posture, but it can be a challenging posture. And again, as we age, the stabilizing muscles, the muscles that help us stay balanced, they're some of the first that tend to go, which is something we really want to make sure that we're taking care of as we age and increase, if we want to increase our lifespan. Okay, from here, rather than moving into our first karna, we're going to jump all the way to asana number 500, and we're going to complete the TVK sequence that we've been exploring in the days past, okay? So we can all come down to our seated position. And by now, we should be feeling nice and warm. You should feel heat throughout the entire body. Our hips should still be opened up from that beginning part of the sequence as well. And it was nice to get that one standing posture in, but the remaining part of the sequence is we are in a seated position again, okay? Again, if you're not able to perform any of the postures that are demonstrated, nothing wrong. Do the best that you can. However, we are jumping into a more next level postures. And so we're going to be showing some of our more advanced yogis here and how to perform them perfectly. But the first posture is a Padmasana position. So you're bringing both your feet onto the opposite thighs. Right away, if you're not able to do that, completely fine. You can keep one foot on the opposite thigh and the other underneath. And if you're not able to do that, again, then just sit in Sukhasana, okay? If you have a wall near you, I encourage you to take advantage of that, because what we're doing here is you're actually going to be leaning back and balancing on your sitting bones. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll all start to perform the posture here so we can get some eyes on how to perform it properly. Not everybody here can do it either, but some of us are pretty advanced. And by us, I do not mean me. So take a look at our acharyas to my left and right who are able to perform Padasarama Asana perfectly. Okay, so what you're doing is you're in Padmasana, you're scooping your hands between your thighs, and you're trying to reach as far forward as you can so that your arms can be brought up towards the net. Simultaneously, you're trying to balance yourself there, so it can be quite challenging. That's where the wall is helpful. Okay, so take advantage of the wall by just giving yourself a little bit of space to lean back as you hold yourself there. Rameshaya is already performing pretty much perfectly though. Nicely done. Nicely done. So continue trying to scoop your hands through, reaching as far forward as you can first and foremost. Okay? Once you are able to get your elbow all the way through, that's what is going to allow you to reach and hold on to your neck. But again, when you have to try and balance as well, it makes it a little bit more challenging also. Okay? So at this point in the sequence, we're breathing in Ujjayi Pranayama. Nice slow, deep inhalations through the nose. Restricted inhalation means you're inhaling through the nose, but it really is like coming through the back of the throat in that ocean-like sound. Okay? Then you hold the breath and then you exhale out of the left nostril. Okay? While you're here, gaze towards the tip of the nose and visualize Lord Rama in your inner space. And if you can, and you're holding that perfectly, intensify it at the end by sucking the stomach inwards and up. Nicely done. Okay, to build up to this part of the sequence, if you're able to sit in Padmasana, a very simple way is just by making sure that you do a lot of forward folds. And again, if you have a wall behind you, if you don't have partners, use advantage of the wall by pressing the wall away. You really need to get used to opening up your hips by bringing the chest down towards the ground, leading with the chest, not leading with the forehead and then down. Allow the chest to come forward, the chest to come down. And again, you can press the wall away to really intensify or even push the ground away. But what happens is the hips tend to come off the ground, and we want to make sure that we try and keep the sitting bones down on the ground. But ultimately, you need to work on that hip mobility in order to perform it in a balancing posture as well, right? And so you can do so by doing a forward fold in Padmasana, or you can do so by using the wall to your advantage. And rather than scooping your hands beneath the legs, you can pull the legs and the knees up towards the chest from the outside of your thighs, okay? So we'll do this one more time, one more attempt at wherever you're at. So if you're not able to do Padmasana and you're in Sukhasana today, perfectly fine. You're just going to lift your legs up, pull them towards you. If you want, you can keep one heel down at the perineum, scoop the other arm beneath scooping the arms beneath the other leg, and pull the leg up to your chest. If you're doing that, you want to get the leg to the inner part of the arm rather than using the hand, because then you don't have to use your bicep to keep yourself there. If you have your leg underneath that bent elbow, it doesn't require bicep strength. It doesn't require muscle. It requires a little bit, but not as much. So yes, as I'm saying with Tirtha Rupa, keep the heel, or the ankle rather, at that bent elbow, and the outer calf at the bent elbow, and see if you can lift and pull the leg up in that way. Okay, and if you're doing it in this method, switch and hold the opposite foot. If you're doing the posture as demonstrated around me, see if you can hold it a little bit further and intensify the posture by sucking the stomach in and out. Okay, and no matter where we're at, try and intensify it as best you can by focusing on nice, long, deep inhalations, controlled inhalations through Jayi Pranayama, and we'll let our Tantradar chant the Pramana.
Visualizing
Rama in your inner space.
सकल शरीरे कर्ण आराम आसन परशराम से नाम.
Nice, and then release and let the feet come down. If you were holding your arms there in either of the positions, you'll probably feel that a little bit in your biceps. So just give your arms a little bit of a shake. We're moving into pretty much the same asana, slightly different in that you're in Garbha Pindasana, you're actually rolling a little bit, I believe. And so it's been a while since I performed this one myself, but the vision is you're rolling onto your back, rocking forwards and backwards, making one full circle as you come down and around. Anybody here able to perform a demonstration for us? You're gonna need a little bit of space here, okay? So make sure you don't have any tables, chairs, people around you. But the goal is you're in Padmasana position. You're reaching your hands through the legs and holding on to your ankles. You're rocking back and forth. And you're doing a full rotation, coming back to that starting position. Okay? So if you need a partner to support you in that, if you don't, nothing wrong. Parameshwar Maharaj, he's getting it. Nicely done. So if you're on a carpet or a nice comfortable flooring, that'd be best. That's most ideal. Ideally, you're not on a yoga mat that moves with you each time that you rotate as well. But start with wherever you're at. So if I'm not able to get into Padmasana even, and I'm just in a Sukhasana position, then that's fine. Start with that. If you're not able to scoop beneath and hold onto your neck, neither am I. So start with that. Start with a rocking position where you come down and up. What's happening is you're engaging your core as you're rocking, and that's something that you're really trying to develop here. Okay, so engaging your core means you're squeezing that stomach region, right? So just start with rocking up and down, forwards and backwards. And then from there, you can bring in the other dimensions or start to expand and explore your possibilities. Again, whether that means being in Ardha Padmasana or in full Padmasana, if you're not able to reach your hands through your legs and hold on to your neck, then the next regression is just hold on to your legs from wrapping your arms around. And again, rocking in and out. When you're doing this, the best way to rotate and move in a circular position is when you're at the top. So it's almost like your turning radius happens when you're from a seated position rather than from a reclined position. So if you're down, come up, and you're rotating at that point. So come down, up, up, up. And you're ideally going in the 8 directions as you move through it. And what you'll find is it's a lot easier, obviously, if your hands are on your knees versus you're holding onto your neck, which is the next level of the posture. And so, again, if you're not able to do it holding onto your neck, then I encourage you to release your hands and just keep your hands onto your knees and rock yourself back and up as the first layer of the progression. And then from there, you can try and turn as well. Okay? I'll make way for the Maha Acharya to come back here. All right, so everybody give it one shot at least. I'll take a peek at the Zoom room to see how everybody's doing. And again, if you're not able to be seated in Padmasana, nothing wrong with that. If you are somebody that's got a little bit of less room, make sure you take care of the space around you. You're not driving your knee into anybody, but you're giving yourself the opportunity to explore. Yeah, take the center stage, Mara. Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, so again, explore where you're at. Explore your possibilities. Expand towards your ultimate self. Nicely done, Mirage. As Tattvananda Mirage is showing here, the next layer of the progression is if your hands are on top of your knees, is to still bring your hands beneath and rock from that position. Okay, so the final progression is you scoop your hands through and then holding on to the neck. But if you're finding it too easy with the hands on the knees, then the next layer is bringing the hands between and then rocking in that way. Okay, this is Garbha Pindasana. Let's all give it one shot. St. Kitts, Kailasa, St. Kitts still doing it. Nicely done. Let's see if we can start mixing in the rotations there. You guys are all next level. Okay, so we'll go one more time. Try and bring in all those components. Visualize yourself generating that unlimited potential energy. You're in the Garbha Pindasana here. Gaze towards the tip of the nose as you're rotating, and try and breathe comfortably, long and slowly through Ujjayi Pranayama as you move forward. Okay, so wherever you're at, in whatever progression, we'll begin to rock ourselves back and forth in Garbha Pindasana.
मायूरं पिञ्चमायूरं पद्मपीठसमन्वितं कौकुटं गर्भभिण्डं च कौर्मं योगनृसिंहकम्.
Nicely done. Nicely done. From here, we're going to maintain that position in Padmasana, but we're going to come up onto
our knees. Okay. So we're doing a Simhasana too, so an alternative version of Simhasana that we know of in the Sakala Vinyasa Krama. Okay, in this variation, we stay on our hands and knees. We're still leaning forward, putting our hands in front of us. This time we're still having your chest lifted proudly, sticking the tongue out, and you're gazing up to the third eye, visualizing and embodying that space and state of a lion here. So from Padmasana, lift yourself up into a tall position on top of your knees. Okay, you can have your fingertips towards the front of the room as you lean forward and down. The goal here is you're trying to open up the hips, so try and press the hips forward so your butt isn't necessarily sticking out. So you want to avoid that butt pushed back and try and align the spine and the hips. Okay, so what you'll find is as you lean forward and press the inner parts of the knee into the ground, it starts to become a little bit more challenging on your hip flexors, and your groin might even start to open up a little bit, but you should feel a little bit of resistance there. Okay, so allow that resistance to release by pressing the pelvis forward and opening up your chest. Okay, allow gravity to open up yourself here and then come back gently. Okay, we're going to go through this one more time, pressing forward. Keep the elbows locked. Try to avoid engaging your shoulders too much here. Allow your joints to hold you and keep your stability. Press the hips forward towards the ground. Open up the hip flexors. Relax your legs. Tendency is you're going to be tight. Try and unclutch. Let your legs relax. Stick your tongue out. Gaze up to your third eye. Visualize yourself as a lion in Simhasana.
Good. Come back to a seated posture. We'll do this one more time, and then we'll let our Tantra chant the posture, chant as we hold the posture. Again, we're trying to open up our hips here as you're leaning forward and down. And how to do that is you're pressing the inside of the knees into the ground and you're driving the pelvic or the pelvis towards the ground. Okay. So shoulders are relaxed and ready. Let's come up onto our hands. Fingertips are pointing away from you. Open up your hips, lean forward, let your chest rise, keep your spine elongated. If you need to walk your hands a little bit further away from you, feel free to do so. If you're not able to do this in Padmasana, nothing wrong. Be in Ardha Padmasana or Sukhasana. Goal here again is to try and elongate the spine as best you can. Gaze up towards your third eye. Stick your tongue out. Your ferocious lion in Samhasana.
उत्तानकूर्मपीतेश्च सन्नद्गारुडमेव च वातायनं गोमुखं च भारद्वाजं त्रिविक्रमम्.
Nicely done. Slowly come back into a comfortable seated position.
Okay. Urdhva Kukutasana. So Kukutasana, we're trying to hold ourselves up though from a seated position in Padmasana. So it's rooster pose, but next level in that you're balancing on the two hands, but you're lifting the body up off the ground so the knees come up. Ideally, you get them all the way up behind the elbows. Okay. Nicely demonstrated here, Parameshwara Maharaj. Maybe show a side view of that so others can see just how high you're actually getting there, which is well performed. Okay, so in this posture, it's extremely challenging to even hold yourself up. Nicely done, Tatpanana Maharaj. It's extremely challenging to do what they're doing. They're showing it as if it's pretty easy. To build up to this type of strength, I would actually recommend being in Sukhasana first. What that'll allow is for you to distribute your weight a little bit easier before actually lifting your entire body off the ground. So from Sukhasana, all you're going to do is press your feet or your hands into the ground and reduce the amount of weight that's on your knees and your feet. So you're leaning and bringing your knees up as best you can, and you can keep your heels down on the tops of your feet on the ground as you drive your hands through the ground. When you want to, you can slowly start to reduce the weight that's on your feet, and what you'll find is the feet start to slide a little bit forward, and to the point where, if you're able to, you lift your feet up completely off the ground. So in order to perform the posture in the way that they're doing, you first need to develop that strength in your shoulders, which we know are already warmed up from our earlier postures and Gajasana, etc. But the requirement of doing it in Padmasana is just the next level, right? So first you need to develop that strength. And if you don't have the strength, then there's no point in even attempting it in Padmasana because it's more challenging in the way that you need to find that balance. So if you can't, or if you're somebody that feels like you don't have the strength yet, begin from Sukhasana, leaning forward onto your knees and pressing the ground away. Then from there, you're lifting up the knees and then gently trying to reduce the amount of weight that your feet are on the ground. Then to the point where you start to gently lift the feet up off the ground. Okay? You're trying to hold yourself there for a few seconds and then come down and release. Okay? We won't go through this one too long because, again, I know our shoulders are burning and we're also coming to the end of the sequence. But Urdhva Kukutasana is, again, that next level, rooster pose. So we'll all try one more time as our Tantadar chants the pramana to do it as best you can with whatever level you're at. Okay? So that could be from Sukhasana position. It could be from Ardha Padmasana or from Padmasana itself. You're trying to lift the entire body up, bouncing on the two hands by bringing the knees to the backs of the elbows walking your legs up further and further. Okay? So if you don't quite have that hip mobility and ability to get your thighs all the way up off the ground, we're working on that throughout all of the daily classes here. And Parameshwar Maharaj is pretty much there himself. Nicely done. Okay? Urdhva Kukutasana. Give it one more shot wherever you're at. Explore your ultimate self.
Right here, right now.
ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटवासिष्ठ मरीचिहलमस्तकं परिवृत्तिं षोडशस्य विविधं धनुरासनम्.
Nicely done. Yes, if you do have a partner
Available with you. They can also lift you up from behind also. Okay, in this final part of the sequence, we're moving into a few different lotus pose variations. So next we're moving into Padmasana 6. You're wrapping your arms around you, and ideally you're holding on to the toes with the arms that are coming around the backside. Okay? Nicely done. Okay, holding here, you're gazing at the tip of the nose, visualizing yourself as perfect, beautiful lotus flower. Om Nithyananda rotating in the throat center as your japa. Keep the Mulabandha engaged and tuck your chin to your chest. If you're not able to hold that pose with the arms wrapped around, or if you're not going to get Padmasana, bring your arms around your back regardless. Open up those nadi channels, which naturally open up as your chest expands with the arms wrapped around you. And hold in Padmasana.
अथवद्भासन नाम वामरूपरिदक्षिणं च चरणं संस्थाप्य वामं तथा दक्षरूपरि पश्चिमेन विधानेन धृत्वा कराभ्यां दृढम्.
Nicely done, and releasing.
Unwinding the arms, give yourself a little bit of a shake. Next, you're going to be in Padmasana and just bring the hands to the backs of the neck. Bring the elbows together. The gaze comes to the tip of the nose. We're breathing in Ujjayi Pranayama, that restricted inhalation. Visualize yourself as Paramashiva, renouncing the society of men, connecting with Paramashiva, visualizing the selfless Paramashiva, renouncing the world, renouncing the matrix. As you're here, just breathe nice and slowly, nice and calmly, through the nose, holding the breath comfortably in Ujjayi Pranayama.
तस्यां मध्यमे वायो प्रवेशो नात्र संशयः.
Good. From here, releasing the hand. Again, you're still in Padmasana. This time we're moving into an inversion, bringing the upper back onto the ground, keeping the knees inverted. You're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling by bringing the knees over top of the head. Let the hands come to the lower back and extend the legs up, opening up your hips, trying your best to straighten out the entire spine. You can adjust your hands as needed, but continue trying to press the knees away
which bring them up towards the ceiling, and keep holding there as you drive yourself up. Nicely done. Should feel this open up the hips nicely.
हाथना आधराथी ऊंचो करीथे पालमोथी अधर उपरी राखवे छे ऊर्ध्व भंगासन कहेवाय छे.
Good. And from here, still holding in Padmasana, but just lean all the way down onto your back now. Extend the arms out in front of you. Let one hand rest on top of the other. Bring your gaze to your tip of your nose. Take a deep inhalation. Hold the breath. Try and tuck the chin towards the chest. Naturally, the stomach is pulled in. Try and suck it in a little bit more. Try and pull the stomach up as well. Try and relax the knees down towards the ground. Release the tension in the hips. Unclutching from the body. And hold here.
अथवक्षे महादेव पर्वतासन मंगलम यत्कृत्वा स्थिररूपी स्यात् चक्रादिविलोपनम्.
Good. From here, continue holding. And then slowly extend one foot and then the other, releasing the legs so they straighten out. Open the palms up, let them relax to the sides of the hips. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Nice long exhalation out of the mouth. And unclutch from the body into Shavasana. While we're here, as you consciously unclutch and disengage from all of the physical sensations, one last time we're going to engage the Mula Bandha, and then whether you visualize it happening or metaphysically feel it and manifest it, hold the Kundalini, the Shakti energy from the base of your spine consciously. Allow it to pierce the 6 chakras. Feel the energy pulling all the way up towards the crown center. And then unclutch, relax, and disengage from the body entirely. Taking one last scan, unclutch, and relax every area of tension that you feel.
उत्तानं सववद्भूनो शयनं तु शवासनं शवासनं श्रान्तिहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारकम्.
It's a short shavasana today, so we're going to take a deep inhalation
Right away through the nose. Fill up your lungs completely, fully. Exhale. Start to wiggle your fingertips and your toes. Move your wrists and your ankles and bend your knees right away. Bring the heels flat onto the ground and lift the
ease towards the chest, pulling them with the hands. Let the back of the head raise off the ground. Bring the forehead towards the knees, squeezing the knees to the chest. Allow the lower back to release here. And then rolling over onto one side or rocking yourself straight upwards. Come to a seated position. And bringing your hands together in front of your heart center. You can keep your eyes closed or open, whatever works best for you. But visualize Swamiji. Bring them into your inner space, and from a deep space of gratitude, bring thanks and feeling connection to the Master for this experience of authentic yoga in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. And we'll close this ritual with the Purna Mantra.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu Om Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, everybody. Nicely done
Today, if you joined us from 4 a.m. Brahma Muhurta hour until now, great job. Hopefully you enjoyed the session, whether you joined us live on Zoom or via recorded on YouTube. Thank you for taking the time to experience and expand towards your ultimate self, manifesting Paramashivatva. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll be here at the same time. And again, we encourage you to come on to Zoom if you're able to. Then we are able to support you and give a little bit of in-person guidance also. Next, we're going to move into our puja, the morning, second part of the morning's rituals. And so if you're able to, please do grab your puja kit, come and enjoy this deeply spiritual and empowering space that Swamiji is allowing us all to have here in Kailasas all around the world. So thank you all. Look forward to seeing you in future sessions, and Nithyananda.
Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om 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 Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Shivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda, welcoming all the participants, Kailasa Vasis, devotees, disciples, Rajya Sabha members, to the morning puja. Please settle down. Make sure you are in the full Tirumala Kavedam, the traditional Hindu attire. Please make sure that you have the bhasma on all the 16 places and the kumkum on your third eye. Please make sure that you have your puja kit in front of you with all the items such as the flowers, water, naivedyam, the lamp. Be seated in a comfortable position with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Please close your eyes. Inhale deeply and exhale. Visualize Swamiji's presence in your Ananda Gandha. Visualize Swamiji's presence in the Guru Padukas, in the Atmalinga. Come to a space of deep gratitude and restful awareness. The way to connect with Swamiji and Bhagavan Paramashiva is through the bhakti, through the bhava samadhi, when you are immersed in emotion of deep surrender and gratitude. Come to that space of a deep feeling connection during this personal, exclusive time with Swamiji and Bhagavan Paramashiva. Be in the space of Soham Asmi. Even when you worship, you are Him. Let us now begin the declaration for the Pada Puja and Paramashiva Puja. If you agree to the following with integrity and authenticity, please say yes loudly. I authentically cognize, it is internally process, understand and declare the truth that cosmic energy exists. Yes. I authentically cognize, it is internally process, understand and declare the truth that Swamiji, Bhagavan Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva, Devi Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti, the Guru Padukas and the Atmalinga are the Chinmaya Vigrahas, the embodiment and representation of that very cosmic energy. Yes. I authentically cognize, it is internally processed, understand and declare the truth that the Pada Puja and Paramashiva Puja I am offering now will reach the cosmic source of energy directly. Yes. I authentically cognize, it is internally processed, understand and declare the truth of Soham Asmi, that even when I worship, I am Him. Yes. We will now be beginning with the Sadguru Vandanam. In the Sadguru Vandanam, we offer our gratitude to our beloved Swamiji. Now please take a few flowers in your hands, close your eyes, and offer the flowers at Swamiji's Padukas at the end of the mantra. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Bandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasya Dilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalavachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. The next offering is the Guru Parampara Vandanam. In the Guru Parampara Vandanam, we offer our gratitude to the lineage of all the enlightened masters. Now please take a few flowers in your hands, close your eyes, and offer the flowers at Swamiji's Padukas at the end of the mantra. Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambha Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyama Nithyananda Paryantam Vande Guru Parampara. The next offering is the Arunagiri Yogeshwara Vandanam, where we offer our respects and gratitude to Bhagavan Arunagiri Yogeshwara, who is the incarnation of Bhagavan Paramashiva. Now please take a few flowers in your hands, close your eyes, and offer the flowers at Swamiji's Padukas at the end of the mantra. Lalate Tripundre Nitilanda Kasturi Tilakaha Puranmala Spurita Kadiko Vinavasanaha Tadano Duskaram Shirasi Panirajam Shishikalam Pradiva Sarvesham Arunagiri Yogi Vijayate. The next is the Pachavanam, the ritualistic cleansing of the mouth. Keeping your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra, pour an udani of water into your right palm and sip the water from the base of your palm 3 times. Om Atmadattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Om Vidyadattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Om Shivadattvam Shodhayami Svadha. Wipe your lips twice from the right to the left. Om Hamradayaya Namaha. Wash your hands. With the tips of your index, middle and ring fingers touch above the upper lip, below the lower lip. Wash your hands. With the tips of the index finger, thumb joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of your ring finger, thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hands. With tips of your little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel center, right chest and left chest. With all 5 fingers joined together, touch the top of the head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and the heart center. The next is Shuklambaradam, where we invoke the presence of Mahaganapati, the Lord of spontaneous completion. Now please take a few flowers and akshata in your right hand, keep both your hands as fists, and tap the sides of your forehead along with the mantra. Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shachivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadhanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye. The next is the pranayama, the inhalation, retention, and exhalation of the prana, the life energy. Do all 3 while we chant the Samhita mantras. Om Hum Ishanamurtaye Namo, Om Himrutpashuptraye Namo, Om Mukurtaye Namo, Om Mahadevukhyaye Namo, Satyajatamurtaye Namo, Om Hamridaye Namo, Om Vimsharse Namo, Om Murtikaye Namo, Om Enkavachaye Namo, Om Hum Netribhyo Namo, Om Hastraye Namo, Om Hum Ishanamurtaye Namo, Om Himrutpashuptraye Namo, Om Mukurtaye Namo, Om Mahadevukhyaye Namo, Satyajatamurtaye Namo, Om Hamridaye Namo, Om Vimsharse Namo, Om Murtikaye Namo, Om Enkavachaye Namo, Om Hum Netribhyo Namo, Om Hastraye Namo, Om Hum Ishanamurtaye Namo, Om Himrutpashuptraye Namo, Om Mukurtaye Namo, Om Mahadevukhyaye Namo, Satyajatamurtaye Namo, Om Hamridaye Namo, Om Vimsharse Namo, Om Murtikaye Namo, Om Enkavachaye Namo, Om Hum Netribhyo Namo, Om Hastraye Namo. The next is the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution. When you make the Sankalpa in the presence of the Master, the power of the Master's presence will manifest your Sankalpa as the reality. Please close your eyes. Visualize the ultimate discipline in all areas of your life, removing any thoughts of inauthenticity, incompletion, and bringing discipline into all areas of your life. Now keeping the flowers and akshata in your left palm, close it with your right palm and keep both the hands on the right thigh. Let us now chant the Sankalpa mantra. Om Namo Partha Samasta Dvidakshaya Dvara Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Prityartham Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Prityartham Cha Shubhe Shobhane Muhurte Adya Brahmanaha Vidyavarade Shri Shvetavaraha Kalpe Vaivasvatamanvantare Ashtavinshaditame Nityayuge Pradame Vade Jambudvipe Bharatavarshe Bhadrakande Meroho Dakshine Parshve Shatabde Asmin Vardhamane Vyavaharike Prabhavadinam Nityaha Samvatsarānam Madhye Vishwavasunam Samvatsare Dakshinayane Lakshmi Venkateshwara Ritau Tulamase Shuklapakshe Tritiyayam Shubhaditau Shukravasarayuktayam Stiravasarayuktayam Jyeshtha Nakshatra Shobhana Yoga Vishtikarana Evam Guna Vishesha Vishishtayam Asyam Shubhaditau Shri Kailasa Shyamala Pīఠārūಢa Shri Meenakshi Sundareshwara Vinnasvarupa Parashavrudaratna Kumara Gurumanyatulyavatara Shri Parvati Sanyapana Laptadivijnana Vishwata Sakala Nikama Kamasara Bhuta Dravida Veda Prabantre Srimad Paramashiva Karuna Samadhikata Mukta Vedadrashraya Nadiyamana Satrajamana Shri Chandrakāhalādi Samasta Viradavalyankruta Jnana Vijnana Chakravarti Sarvajana Sangha Satyo Nirvana Diksha Maya Bhavata Varsha Vishnani Jimota Paramata Kalavageshari Saiva Siddhanta Sthapanacharya Shri Rajadiraja Maharaja Guru Samana Shakyari Mahantakara Nivarane Jnanabhanu Vikshanarahara Bhujochedana Murvaka Shrimat Krishavattvajastapaka Saiva Samya Kartre Sarvajna Pīఠārūಢa Shri Jagadguru Shri Jnana Sambandha Deshika Swami Vāgīsha Sundara Māణिक्यवाचक Swamina Avatara Bhuta Shri Jnana Sambandha Swami Paranadrita Shyamala Pīఠa Sarvajna Pīఠa Trinavadhyuttara Dvishatamaka Mahasannidhana Arunagi Yogi Ishvara Paramparaga Arunachala Sarvajna Pīఠa Guru Mahasannidhana
कैलास परंपरागत कांची कैलास सर्वज्ञ पीठ त्रयस्त्रिंशदुत्तरद्विशततमगुरुमहासन्निधान नित्योत्सव नित्य मंगल नित्य कल्याण नित्य कैलास परंपरागत आदि कैलास नित्यानंद पीठ महासंस्थान महासिंहासन पीठ गत्र साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कैलास परंपरागत वैवस्वतमनेक्ष्वाकु हरिश्चंद्र भगीरथ श्रीरामचंद्र शूरसेन इत्यादि अवच्छिन्न सार्वभौम चक्रवर्ती परंपरागत चतुष्षष्टि योगिनी मंडित चतुष्षष्टि संप्रदाय प्रवर्तक मनधर्म शासन सूर्यवंश प्राप्त सर्वज्ञ वीर सुरांगी साम्राज्य नूराभिषिक्त चूड़ामणे साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत कपिल महागुरु पुनरुद्धृत महानिर्वाणि वीर अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री महामंडलेश्वर साक्षात् श्री परमशिव समुद्भूत श्री महागणपति समारंभ अनवच्छिन्न पीठाधीश्वर गुरु परंपरा प्राप्त अटलपीठ अष्टोत्तर सहस्र श्री अटलपीठाधीश्वर धर्म मुक्ति स्वर्ग पुरस्वर्ण पीठ त्रयोपुंज गुरु महासन्निधान कैलास परंपरागत आदिवीर सर्वज्ञ पीठ जगद्गुरु श्री कैलास वनरत्नारक श्री कैलास वनमाचार्य श्रीमद् परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य वर्य सच्चिदानंद प्रणव स्वरूप श्रोत्रिय ब्रह्मनिष्ठा श्रीमद् जगद्गुरु श्री श्री भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव श्री ज्ञान संपन्न देशिक परमाचार्य स्वामिनां प्रीत्यर्थं तेषां बाधारविन्दयोः भक्ति सिद्ध्यर्थं गुरुकृपा कटाक्ष सिद्ध्यर्थं क्षेम स्थैर्य वीर्य विजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याणाम् अभिवृद्ध्यर्थं धर्मार्थ काम मोक्ष चतुर्विध फल पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थं समस्त दुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं समस्त मंगलावाप्त्यर्थं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रसादेन सकुटुम्बस्य ज्ञान वैराग्य जीवन मुक्ति प्राप्त्यर्थं श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव अवतार भूत श्री सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूप भगवान श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रत्यक्ष पाद पूजां करिष्ये श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव पूजां च करिष्ये।
Om Namo Vaskrishya. Please wash your hands, put them in your water. The next is the Gandhanada. We ring the bell to invoke the presence of all the gods and goddesses and remove the presence of any negative energies. Please take the bell in your left hand, hold it above your heart center, and ring the bell along with the mantra. Om
Amadhantu devanam Bhavanadhantu rakshasam Gandhanadam karogyado devata Panalantanam Gandha devadabhyo namaha.
The next is the Manasa Puja, the internal worship. Now please close your eyes. Visualize Swamiji in your inner space. Visualize offering all of your mind, your emotions, your thoughts, everything at the feet of Swamiji. Now please place your hands in the Purna Mudra, close your eyes, and offer the flowers at Swamiji's padukas at the end of the mantra.
हृत्पद्मासनं हृद्यात् सहस्ररच्युतामृतैः पाद्यं चरणयोर्दद्यात् मनस्सु वर्ग्यं निवेदयेत् तेन अमृतेन आचमनीयं स्नानीयं तेन च स्मृतम् आकाशतत्त्वं वस्त्रं स्यात् गन्धः स्यात् गन्धतत्त्वकम् चित्रं प्रकल्पयेत् पुष्पं धूपं प्राणान् प्रकल्पयेत् तेजस्तत्त्वं च दीपार्थं नैवेद्यं स्यात् सुधाम्बुधिः अनाहतध्वनिर्कण्ठा वायुतत्त्वं च चामरं सहस्रारं भवेत् छत्रं शब्दतत्त्वं च गीतकम् हृद्यमिन्द्रियकर्माणि चाञ्चल्यं मनसस्तथा सुमेखलां पद्ममालां पुष्पं नानाविधं तथा अमायाद्ये पापपुष्पैः अर्चयेत् पापगोचरम् अमायम् अहङ्कारम् अरागम् ममदम् तथा अमोहकम् मदम् पञ्च अद्वेषाक्षोभको तथा अमाचर्यम् अलोभम् च दशपुष्पम् विदुर्बुधाः अहिंसा परमम् पुष्पम् पुष्पमिन्द्रियनिग्रहः दया पुष्पम् क्षमा पुष्पम् ज्ञानपुष्पम् च पञ्चमम् इति पञ्चदशे भावपुष्पैः सम्बोधयेत् भगवन्तं श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवम्।
The next is the Upachara Puja, the external worship. The first is the asana, the offering of seat to the master. Now please take a few flowers and akshata in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas, then with the mantra. Asanam Om Sarvabhutantarasthaya Sarvabhutantaratmane Kalpayami Paveshatam Asanam Te Namo Namaha. Om Hrim Idam Suvarnasanam Sarvadevadevi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next offering is Swagatam, the offering of welcoming the master. Now please take a few flowers in your hands and offer the flowers at Swamiji's padukas at the end of the mantra. Swagatam Om Shantatvat Sarvakartritvat Bhavotvartikaranat Shivokto Mahatantra Mantra Vidvis Sada Shivaha Tasmai Shivaya Gurave Vitaragatanaye Vai Ameyatvatanantoyam Vajatvacha Prakirtitaha Yasya Darshanam Ichhanti Deva Swabhishta Siddhaye Tasmai Deva Rameshana Swagatam Swagatam Prabho Adya me sapalam janma jivanam sabala kriyaha Swagatam yatvaya janme tapasam balamagatam. Om Hrim Sarvadeva Devi Swarupa Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Swagatam Suswagatam Te. The next offering is Padhyam, the offering of water to wash the feet of the master. Now please take another knee of water in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra. Padhyam Om Yadbhakti Samparkat Paramananda Samgavah Tasmai Deva Rameshana Padhyam Shuddhaya Kalpaye. Om Hrim Etat Padhyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. The next offering is Arghya, the offering of the traditional bouquet. Now please take the conch in your hands and offer the Arghya at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra. Arghya Om Durvachana Samayuktam Bilvavatram Dadamaram Shovanam Shankavatrastam Grahanadyam Maheshwara. Om Hrim Esho Argyaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Swaha. The next offering is Acharaniya, the offering of water for mouthwash. Now please take the dhalni of water in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra. Achamaniyam Om Mandavinyasu Yadvari Sarvabharam Shubham Grahanachamaniyam Tam Maya Bhaktya Niveditam. Om Hrim Idam Achamaniyodakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Swaha. The next offering is Madhubarka, the offering of the nectarine drink. Now please take the Madhubarka in your hands and offer the Madhubarka at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra. Madhubarka Om Sarvakalmashanashaya Paripurna Sudhatmakam Madhubarkamimam Deva Kalpayami Prasidame. Om Hrim Esha Madhubarka Sarva
सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय स्वतः.
The next offering is Gandha Telam, the offering of the scented oil. Now please take the scented oil in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra.
गन्धतेलम् ॐ स्नेहं ग्रहाण स्नेहेन लोकानामितकारक सर्वलोकेषु दुर्दस्तं ददामि स्नेहमुत्तमम्. ॐ ह्रीं इदं गन्धतैलं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Naniyam, the offering of the sacred bath. Now please take the water in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Naniyam Om Idam Siddhidalavani Satyam Siddham Manoharam Naradam Devayavakya Gandhidam Radhikyata. Om Hrim Idam Nanyodakam Sarvadevadevi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Nivedayami.
The next offering is Vastram, the offering of the sacred cloth. Now please take the cloth offering in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra. Vastram
Om Maya Chittavaka Channa Nijagupyortejase Niravarna Vijnaya Vasaste Kalpayamyam. Om Hrim Idam Vastrotariyam सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Abharanam, the offering of the sacred jewelry. Now please take the jewelry in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra.
Abharanam Om स्वभावसुन्दराङ्गाय नानाशक्त्याश्रयायते सुवर्णं भूषणं तुभ्यं कल्पयामि प्रसीद मे. ॐ ह्रीं इदं सुवर्णाभरणं सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय निवेदयामि.
The next offering is Gandha, the offering of the sandalwood paste. Now please take the sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra.
गन्धः ॐ शरीरं येन जानामि चेष्टां नैव च मया निवेदितां गन्धां प्रतिविज्ञविद्यताम्. ॐ ह्रीं एष गन्धः सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय नमः.
The next offering is Pushpam, the offering of fragrant flowers. Now please take a few flowers, smear the sandalwood paste in your hands, and offer the flowers at Swamiji's padukas at the end of the mantra.
पुष्पम् ॐ तुरीयरमणसम्पन्नं नानागुणमनोहरम् आनन्दसौरभं पुष्पं गृह्यतामिदमुत्तमम्. ॐ ह्रीं एतानि सचन्दनपुष्पाणि सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय औषधे.
The next offering is Bilvavatram, the offering of the Bilva leaves. Now please take some Bilva leaf, smear with sandalwood paste in your hands, and offer it at Swamiji's padukas along with the mantra.
बिल्वपत्रम् ॐ अमृतोद्भवं श्रीवृक्षं शङ्करस्य सदा प्रियं बिल्वपत्रं प्रयच्छामि पवित्रं ते सुरेश्वर. ॐ ह्रीं एतानि सचन्दनबिल्वपत्राणि सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परम शिवाय औषधे.
The next offering is Tulasi Patram, the offering of the Tulsi leaf. Now please take the Tulsi leaf, smear with sandal, paste in your hands, and offer it at Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra. Tulasi
Patram Om Namaste Rupaya Varadamurtaye Paramatmane Swaha Om Hrim Idam Sajandana Tulasi Patram Sarvadevalevi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha.
The next offering is Dhupa, the offering of the lit incense sticks. Now please take the lit incense sticks in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Dhupaha Om Namah Paramahansa Divyo Gandha Yasmano Hara Agneya Sarva Devanam Dhupoyam Nrikyata Om Hrim Eja Dhupaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha.
The next offering is Deepa, the offering of the lit lamp. Now please take the lit lamp in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Deepa Om Suryanasho Adipaha Sarvada Dhirapaha Samanya Vintada Jyotir Divoyam Padivikyata Om Hrim Eja Deepaha Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha.
The next offering is Naivedyam, the offering of food. Now please take Nurdani of water and hover it clockwise over the Naivedyam and offer it at Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Naivedyam Om Naivedyam Vitam Deva Sakala Vinyasa Maya Niveditam Bhaktya Jnana Parameshwara Om Hrim Idam Sopakarma Naivedyam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Nivedayami.
The next offering is Paniyam, the offering of water for drinking. Now please take the Nurdani of water in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra.
Paniyam Om Samasareva Devesha Sarvatriptikaram Varam Akhandananda Sampurnam Grahana Jalamuktamam Om Hrim Idam Panatodakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha.
The next offering is Punarachamaniyam, the offering of water for washing the hands and the mouth. Now please take another of water in your hands and offer it at Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra.
Punarachamaniyam Om Uchishtamapyasudeva Yasya Smaranamatrudah Shuddhimamnoti Tasmai Te Punarachamaniyam Om Hrim Idam Punarachamaniyorakam Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Swaha.
The next offering is Aratrikam, the offering of Arati to the Master. Now please take the lit lamp in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji's Padakas along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Om Hrim Neshavipamala Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Bhagavate Shri Nithyananda Paramashivaya Namaha. Om Sangranye Tyajate Imam Janadagum गृह्णानीति द्वादशाक्षीरधनामवति द्वादशमासा संवत्सरः संवत्सरमेवावन्दे भौजी भवति पूर्वे मुञ्चाः ऊर्जमेवावन्दे चित्राक्षत्रं भवति चित्रं वा एतत्कर्म कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं जगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि महारात्रिकं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः।
The next offering is Pushpanjali, the offering of the fragrant flowers. Now please take a few flowers in your hands, place your hands in Atmanjali Mudra, close your eyes, and offer the flowers at Swamiji's Padukas at the end of the mantra.
पुष्पाञ्जलिः गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्तकर्मबन्धविदायिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाद श्री जगन्नाथो मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु ममात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। पुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव चरणकमलेभ्यो नमः। ओम नित्यानंदम्।
The next is the offering of the Parameshwara Puja. The first is Tattvachmana, the ritualistic cleansing. Now please take another drink of water, pour it into your right hand, place as a Gokarna Mudra, and sip the water from the base of your palm 3 times. Om Atmadalatam Shodhayami Svada, Om Vidyadatam Shodhayami Svada, Om Shivadatam Shodhayami Svada. Wipe your lips twice from the right to the left. Om Amridaya Namaha. Wash your hands. With the tips of your index and middle fingers, touch above the upper lip, below the lower lip. Wash your hands. With the tips of your index finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of your ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hands. With the tips of your little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel center, right chest and left chest. With all 5 fingers joined together, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder and heart center. The next is Sakala Krama. Please close your eyes and visualize yourself as Bhagavan Paramashiva. Now, using your left hand, wipe the front and back of your right hand, and using your right hand, wipe the front and back of your left hand twice. Om Hasraya Namaha. Now bring your hands in Namaskara Mudra in front of your third eye.
Shaktaye Vaushade.
Now keeping your hands together with your palms facing towards you, touch your thumbs to the center of your palms.
Om Ham Shivasanaye Namaha. Om Ham Shivamurtaye Namaha.
Now with the tip of your thumbs, touch the tip of your little fingers and move your thumbs down towards the base of your little finger.
Om Ham Satyajatamurtaye Namaha.
Now your ring finger.
Om Him Vamadevagutyaye Namaha.
Now your middle finger.
Om Hum Magorahridayaye Namaha.
Now your index finger.
Om Him Tatpurushamuktaye Namaha.
Now your thumbs.
Om Hum Ishanabhutaye Namaha.
Now bring your palms in front of you. Your thumbs touching the center of your palms. Om
Ham
Ham.
Hum Vidyadehaye Namaha.
Now bend your index, middle and ring fingers and touch the center of your palms.
Om Hum Netrebhyo Namaha.
Now bend your thumbs and touch the center of your palms.
Om Ham Hum Shivaye Namaha.
Now again with the tip of your thumbs, touch the tip of your little fingers and move your thumbs down towards the base of your little finger.
Om Ham Hridayaye Namaha.
Now your ring finger.
Om Him Shirase Namaha.
Now your middle finger.
Om Hum Shikaye Namaha.
Now your index finger.
Om Him Kavachaye Namaha.
Now your thumbs.
Om Hasraye Namaha.
Now with the tip of your index finger, touch the tip of your thumbs. Bring your hands into the Mushti Mudra and roll them around each other once.
Om Him Kavachaye Hum.
Now bring your hands into Namaskara Mudra in front of your third eye.
Om Ham Shivaya Vaushade.
Now bend your thumbs inwards and touch the center of your palms.
Om Ham Hum Shivaya Namaha.
With the tip of your right hand thumb and ring finger joined together, touch your Ananda. Om Ham Shivasanaya Namaha.
Om Ham Shivamurtaye Namaha.
Now keeping your thumbs and little fingers joined together, touch your respective knees.
Om Ham Satyajatamurtaye Namaha.
With your right hand thumb and ring finger joined together, touch your navel center.
Om Him Vamadevagutyaye Namaha.
With your right hand thumb and middle finger joined together, touch your throat center, touch your heart center.
Om Hum Magorahridayaye Namaha.
Now with your thumb and index finger joined together, touch your above your upper lip.
Om Him Tatpurushamuktaye Namaha.
With the tip of your thumbs, touch the top of your forehead. Om
Ishanabhutaye Namaha.
Now with your right hand thumb and ring finger joined together, touch your Ananda. Om Ham
Vidyadehaye Namaha.
Now with the tip of your right hand index, middle and ring fingers, touch your right eye, third eye and left eye respectively.
Om Hum Netrebhyo Namaha.
With your right hand thumb and ring finger joined together, touch your Ananda. Om Ham Shivaya Namaha. Now with your right hand little finger and thumb joined together, touch your heart center.
Om Ham Hridayaye Namaha.
With your right hand thumb and ring finger joined together, touch the top of your head.
Om Him Shirase Swaha.
With your right hand thumb and middle finger joined together, touch the back of your head.
Om Hum Shikaye Vaushade.
Now cross your left hand over your right hand in front of your chest. Keep your index fingers in form of a hook and uncross your arms, moving them around your head, bringing them till your chest.
Om Him Kavachaye Hum.
Now strike your right thumb onto your left palm and your left thumb onto your right palm.
Om Hasraye Namaha.
Now with your right hand index and middle finger, strike your left palm thrice.
Om Hasraye Bhumpate.
Now using your right hand index finger and thumb, snap in all the 10 directions around yourself, in all the 8 directions, down and up. Om
Hasraye
Hasraya.
Namaha.
Now move your hands from the head to the toes, touching the sides of your body.
Om Ham Shivaya Vaushade.
The next is Samanya Argyastapana. Please mix some akshata, flowers, and sandalwood powder into the water. Cover the mouth of the Panchapatra with your palms and chant Om 7 times internally.
Om 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 Om.
Now snap your index finger and thumb in all the 10 directions around the Panchapatra.
Om Hasraye Namaha.
Now keeping your right hand in the Avakuntana Mudra, rotate your index finger around the Panchapatra.
Om Him Kavachaye Hum.
Now show the Dhenu Mudra to the water in the Panchapatra.
Om
Om
Ham Shivaya Vaushade.
The next is Avahana. Please close your eyes. Visualize Bhagavan Paramashiva radiating in your Atmalinga. Request Bhagavan Paramashiva for his presence to be there, to receive all our love, gratitude, and all of the offerings. Now offer a flower to your Atmalinga. Om Ham Shivasanaya Namaha. Now please take some flowers in your hands and keep your hands in the Anjali Mudra. Chant the following mantra and meditate on the form of Bhagavan Paramashiva.
Lalane Tribundri Kasturi Dilakaha Swaranmala Spurita Kadikaupi Navasanaha Dadano Dishtaran Kirasi Padirajam Shishikala Pradipa Sarvesha Manurigiri Yogi Vidayate Indri Vahansa Mukastada Jayuktam Shulam Vigadantam Sivanjama Vayamsya Pajavaradam Kushamani Jvalanavami Shweta Sadashiva Swarupam Om Ham Shivamurtaye Namaha
Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha.
Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha Dhyayami Ahayami.
Now please show the respective mudras and invoke the presence of Bhagavan Paramashiva in your Atmalinga. Now please place your thumbs onto your respective palms and place your palms facing upwards. Om Ham Shivaya Namaha Ityavaham.
Mudram Pradashya
Now turn your palms facing downwards.
Savana
Now bring your hands into fists parallel to each other with your thumbs outwards.
Sannidhana
Now put your thumbs inside of your fists. Nishtura
Mudram
Mudra.
Pradashya
Now interlace your fingers inwards and clasp your hands, keeping your thumbs out.
Asaya Humbat Vidi Kalakandi Mudram Pradashya.
Now hold your left thumb with your right hand and cover your right hand with your left hand. Om Ham Shivaya Namaha Iti Linga Mudra. Now bring your hands in Namaskara Mudra. Namaskara Mudra. Now rotate your right hand index finger around the Atmalinga in a clockwise manner.
Om Haim Kamajaya Hum Vidi Avundana Mudram Pradashya.
Let us now begin the Upachara Puja. The first is Asanam. Now please take some Akshata in your hands and offer it on to Bhagavan Paramashiva along with the mantra. Om Ham
Om Shivaya Namaha Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha Asanam Samarpayami.
The next offering is Padyachamanargyam. Now please take another drink of water, show it to Bhagavan Paramashiva's mouth, show it to Bhagavan Paramashiva's feet, and offer it in the Padya Patra. Om Ham
Om Shivaya Namaha.
Please take another drink of water, show it to Bhagavan Paramashiva's mouth, and offer it in the Achamana Patra.
Om Ham Shivaya Swadha.
Please take another drink of water, show it to Bhagavan Paramashiva's crown, and offer it in the Argya Patra.
Om Ham Shivaya Swaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha Adhyasmanargyam Tattvat.
The next offering is Snaniyam, the offering of the sacred bath. Now please take another drink of water in your hands, pour the water on to Bhagavan Paramashiva along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Om Ham
Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha Snanam Samarpayami.
Now please take another drink of water, show it to Bhagavan Paramashiva's mouth, and offer it in the Achamana Patra. Om
Om
Ham
Shivaya Swadha.
The next offering is Vastram, the offering of fresh clothes to Bhagavan Paramashiva. Now please take some Akshata in your hands and offer it to Bhagavan Paramashiva at the end of the mantra. Om Ham
Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivaya Namaha Vastra Yajnopavita Uttayaranatam Akshatan Samarpayami.
The next offering is Gandha, the offering of the sandalwood paste. Now please take the sandalwood paste in your right hand ring finger and offer it onto Bhagavan Parameshiva. And please offer the kumkum on top of the sandalwood paste. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha.
Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwaya Namaha. Gandhandharayami
Andasya Bhai Haridra.
Vidra Kumkumachornam Samarpayami.
The next is the offering of the Ashtapushpa Puja. Now please take some flowers in your hands and offer it to Bhagavan Parameshiva. Each time the word Namaha is chanted. Om Bhavaya
Devaya Namaha. Bhavasya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Sarvaya Devaya Namaha. Sarvasya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Ishanaya Devaya Namaha. Ishanasya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Vashvadaya Devaya Namaha. Vashvadaya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Rudraya Devaya Namaha. Rudrasya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Rudraya Devaya Namaha. Rudrasya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Bhimaya Devaya Namaha. Bhimasya Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Mate Devaya Namaha. Parvo Devasya Padme Namaha. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwaya Namaha. Ashtapushpa Pujam Samarpayami.
The next offering is Bilvavatram. Now please take the Bilva leaf, smear the sandalwood paste in your hands and offer it at Bhagavan Parameshiva along with the mantra. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha.
Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwaya Namaha. Bilvavatram Samarpayami.
The next offering is Dhupa, the offering of the lit incense. Now please offer the puja to the bell. Om Hasraya Namaha. Now please offer water to the Dhupa stand.
Om Hasraya Pate.
Please offer a flower to the Dhupa stand.
Om Hridaya Namaha.
Now please take the little Dhupa in your hands and slowly wave it towards Swamiji's Padukas along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so.
Om Dhura 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 Vastam Devana Vastasthira Vamakra Vakshishtara Vamanitam Yevaruta Vamakra Avidya Navinda Sawapa Avidya Swatisya Vedena Vasam Vikamatva Vimuksham. Om Ham Hom Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwaya Namaha. Dhupamagramayami.
The next is the offering of Deepa, the offering of the lit lamp. Now please sprinkle some water on the Deepa. Om Astraya Namaha. Now please offer a flower. Om Ham Hridaya Namaha. Now please take the Deepa in your hands and offer it to Bhagavan Parameshiva along with the mantra, and please ring the bell as you do so. Om
Udni Prasvadavayo Bhagavanyar Dharmama Vajogacchaman Seva Hanivan Dharjavita Manayum Shridatavayo Vamashvam Prashamdagade Avipradagnagani Shriya Mahaparipādaya. Om Nam Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwaya Namaha. Deepam Dhanrajayami.
Now please take a mudhani of water, show it to Bhagavan Parameshiva's mouth and offer it in the Achmana Patra. Om
Nam Shivaya Svada.
The next offering is Naivedyam. Now please sprinkle some water in the Naivedyam. Om
Asraya Pate.
Please offer a flower to the Naivedyam.
Om Hridaya Namaha.
Now please take a mudhani of water, pour it clockwise over the Naivedyam and offer it onto Bhagavan Parameshiva at the end of the mantra.
Om Advaraja Devalucharam Hindavaha Bhadhina Sangotanihi Madhanakta Vadavati Madhavata Rumrajaha Madhajyarattanam Vira Madhavana Madhavasade Madhavakam Madhuyaha Bhadhina Madhavantanaha Madhu Madhu Madhu. Om Nam Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Shakti Sameta Shri Nithyanandeshwara Parameshwaya Namaha. Nivedyam Nivedayami.
Now please take a mudhani of water, show it to Bhagavan Parameshiva's mouth and offer it in the Achmana Patra. Om Ham Shivaya Svada. The next offering is Tambulam. Now please take some akshata in your hand and offer to Bhagavan Paramashiva at the end of the mantra.
Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha. Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Sameత Shri Nithyanandeshwari Shivaya Namaha. Tambulam Samarpayami.
The next offering is Aratrikam, the offering of light. Now please take a drink of water and sprinkle on the Karpura Arati plate. Om Haraya. Please offer flower in the Karpura Arati plate. Om Haraya. Now please take the Karpura Arati in your hand and slowly wave it towards Bhagavan Paramashiva along with the mantra. And please ring the bell as you do so. Aratrikam.
Om Somovahedasya Rajyamadase Yo Raja Dhankarjo Vaso Medade Devasva Medani Havikam Chavati Yahitavanto Vai Devanam Savaha Sayevat Vaidhavan Shanti Sayenam Punasuvate Rajaya Devasuraja Bhati Adantasuyo Bhavati Chandradhagamam Devamityo Bhati Muroi Bhakti Samev Bhantam Vajjarum Dasyavata Karmakam Vivati Karpuragadam Karunavataram Samsaradaram Bhujagendaram Sada Vasantam Prajayarinche Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami Bhavam Bhavani Saitam Namami.
Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha.
Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Sameeta Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Namaha. Pura Nirajanam Sandarshayami Rakshandarayami.
The next offering is Pushpanjali, the offering of the fragrant flowers. Now please take some flowers in your hands. Place your hands in the Atmanjali Mudra. Now for the flowers onto Bhagavan Paramashiva at the end of the mantra. Om Ham Om Shivaya Namaha.
Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Sameeta Shri Nithyanandeshwari Parameshwari Namaha. Pushpanjalim Samarpayami.
The next is the Gayatri Mantra Japa and Mula Mantra Japa. Please hold a Yajna Bhavita and chant the Gayatri Mantra 11 times internally. The next is the Mula Mantra Japa. Please chant the Mula Mantra 11 times internally. The next is the Kshama Prarthana. Please take some flowers, Dhruva grass, Nakshata in your right hand. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Om Him Kavachaya Hum. Om Ham Shivaya Voshate. Now please pour some water into your right palm. Keep your hands in the Udbhav Mudra and offer the water through your right hand index finger onto the left side of Bhagavan Paramashiva at the end of the mantra. Om
Yajnichittarvalemesha sada sukrudushkritam Tanme shivadastasya bhumshakshvay shankara Shivo data shivo bhokta shivas sarvamidam jagate Shivo yadi sarvatra yashivas somamevato Om Om Shivaya Namaha.
The next is the Vattvachmanam, the ritualistic cleansing of the mouth. Now keeping your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra, pour an udrani of water and sip the water from the base of your palm 3 times. Om Atmadattvam Shodhayami Svada. Om Vidyadattvam Shodhayami Svada. Om Shivadattvam Shodhayami Svada. Now wipe your lips twice from the right to the left. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hands. With your index, middle and ring fingers, touch above your upper lip, below your lower lip. Wash your hands. With the tips of your index finger and thumb joined together, touch your right nostril and left nostril. With the tips of your ring finger and thumb joined together, touch your right eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hands. With the tips of your little finger and thumb joined together, touch your navel center, right chest and left chest. With all 5 fingers joined together, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder and the heart center. With this we come to the conclusion of the Pada Puja and Parameshiva Puja. Let us offer our gratitude to Swamiji and end with the Purna Mantra.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवद्श्रीनित्यानन्दपरमशिवपादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्.
Please bow down to Bhagavan Parameshiva and Swamiji.